Welcome to this week's episode. We are going to be going over the different meta events today, which is a little bit of a different thing that we're usually doing. Usually we're primarily focusing on strikes and fractals and that kind of thing in these, but I figured we'd like to go over and have a little bit of a try of doing some meta events, seeing how does it work when you do commandering for those, because a lot of you might not have tried that before, and seeing events through commander's eyes are usually a good way to actually get some experience with them. And right now, this week, we have the End of Dragons, the Return to End of Dragons event. So I figure this is a really good time to go back and actually try out a couple of those meta events live on stream. That also means that I will be creating squads for them that you can, of course, join if you want to. And yeah, that's basically what we're going to be doing today. I think, in fact, the most important one to focus on, the one that actually has some difficulty, would be the one called, it's not called Dragon's Storm, is it just called Dragon's End? It's, you know, the one that's in Dragon's End. I don't actually remember what that one's called. Anyway, that event requires a bit more coordination than many other events, and so I figure that if we can catch that here at 3 o'clock, because there's actually one going on right now, but of course with the stream starting at this point, that is not going to happen. You need to join in there a little bit earlier than at the time the event starts. So we're going to be creating a map for the... Oh my... Is there a weekly or daily thing with this going on? Yeah, so sometimes there are events that make this chest important. Is there an event right now making this chest important? Oh well. So anyways, that my point being, we are going to be probably doing either... We're probably going to be doing a couple of daily strikes until 3 o'clock, and then 3 o'clock will... Or, not 3 o'clock, but like 2:30, 2:40-ish, we'll be starting up a map over at Dragon's End, and we'll begin trying to prepare that map for the meta event. So, that's going to be today's plan. For now, we're just going through the standard of, like, just all of the characters have places to be, all of my parked characters. So going through this just helps us wait a little bit while people can join if they want to, and be prepared to join when we start our strike missions here in a minute. And again, we're going to go from those strike missions and into... At 3 o'clock, the next End of Dragons, Dragon's End meta event, the large big one, will start, and we'll be going through that, commanding a squad for that. Which does require a little bit more coordination than many other meta events. So if you know how to coordinate that, you will know how to coordinate most meta events. And of course, during the stream, if anyone has any questions, anything, I'd love to answer it the best I can. I am... I wouldn't say I'm a good gamer, but I am a very experienced gamer. So I do have probably the answers for most questions relating to the things I do on stream. Of course, this right now is just getting everything out of the way. But it is a great day to do it on. It's... We've been having such great weather in Denmark lately. Like, my garden is overflowing with, well, life of all sorts, but especially the apple trees. I don't know if you guys have ever seen, like, an apple tree in bloom. They just absolutely change colors into these nice, small, white flowers. It's kind of, honestly, it's kind of like what are they called? The Japanese, the sakura trees. They have kind of that same feel, a little bit less droopy, a little bit more tied to these what are they called? Like branches. They have stiff branches, not bendable branches, but they do look amazing. And I know I shouldn't be going through my home instance like this. I should be doing it through the what is that one called? The homestead instead, because there are some chests in there that just instantly allows you to get all of the loot that you want. You have to loot 4 times instead of 20 or how many ever your home instance have. But I've just gotten so used to doing the home instance this way, and honestly I'm kind of nostalgic for this like Sylvari home instance. It's just very nice, the little tree house kind of. I guess it's more of a mushroom than a tree. Like when we move on top of it here in a second, I think it's actually feels a little bit more mushroomy on top, even though this looks very tree-ish on the bottom. Haven't thought of that before now, but yeah.
Treasure.
I grew up with this home instance, so I am going to keep using this home instance. Simple as that. And as you could see in my home instance video, the biggest earner for your entire home instance isn't any of the individual nodes, it's having the gathering tools equipped that give you volatile magic. So you want the 2 seconds, I'm just switching notes here. You want the gathering tools with glyphs of volatility on them. Again, this costs like 1200, 1300 gold from the trading post. You can get basically any infinite gathering tool pack that includes. It's very important that the pack will include 3 pick your own glyph packs or whatever you'd call them, because you have to take those packs and you have to unpack them, and it's very important that you pick the glyph of volatility, because that is the glyph that gives you the most just straight up value.
I want that.
Do. Ah, yeah, that was the weekly. I had a character parked in case someone didn't see it. I had a character parked at the end of a jumping puzzle because I really liked the chest there. And that jumping puzzle was the weekly, and you could see that from like 7 commanders, I want to say, standing around offering to teleport in exchange for tips, which is an interesting way of making gold. At some point I should probably like make an experiment, see how much do you earn if you stand around for 12 hours or something like that, just juggling your spheres or whatever the commanders generally do in those situations. And then just count up how many tips do you actually get during that amount of time. See, it's very mushroomy here on top, which is funny because it's very like, I guess these could be leaves, like with the things running through them. Oh well. But yeah, it interests me to see how much do people actually earn from standing AFK there, because if it's a lot, then it's probably a good way to honestly earn a little bit of money that isn't, you know, against the rules. You can AFK farm with necromancers and stuff like that, but Guild Wars have specifically said that that is against the rules and something that they will crack down on, something you shouldn't do. You'll run past them if you ever do the Karma farm in Sandswept Isles, the Specimen Chamber pre-event. You will run past people's either necromancers or mechanists standing AFK, auto running up against the wall, and just there are a lot of mobs that spawn just around that point, so they are just standing there and waiting for all the mobs to come to them. I often make a note of like just standing there saying something just to see if they respond, and if they don't respond, I'll report every single one of those characters, because I think it's one of those things where if it wasn't against official rules, I'd be okay with it because it's an innovative way to, do farming. But since it is against the rules, it's kind of giving you an economic advantage in a game where other people's economies are also, when you gain things passively from doing AFK farming, let's say you get a bunch of tier 6 crafting materials or something like that. That's probably what they are looking for. When you sell those on the trading post, other people who have farmed actively those same materials, their materials will be worth less, and so you will be hurting the income of people actually playing the game. Which again, if those people were also allowed to just stand AFK, I think it would be that would be the game we had chosen, so to speak. But when Guild Wars specifically says it's not allowed, I think it's a public duty for us to, report people we see AFK farm. I have a lot of opinions. It's if you came here for a stream with a person without opinions, oh boy, I have opinions about probably literally everything. Yeah. Like that lesser arcane chest over there. I would put that as a part of this rotation. I have sometimes taken it, but there's I'm gonna call it a bug. There's a bug with lesser arcane chests that after you open them, there's supposed to be a debuff while you're opening chests that prevents you from mounting and the like, to avoid bugs in the game. You get a little purple buff. I can show it to you when we open this greater chest. This buff, time running out. And when I finish the chest, it disappears. But with the lesser arcane chests, it usually doesn't disappear, which means when you open them, there's like 10 seconds where you're just standing around looking foolish while you're waiting for that debuff to go off so that you can actually mount and move on with your rotation. Without that debuff, I would probably grab that chest. Does 10 seconds make a big difference? Probably not, but it feels really bad to stand still for that long. So that excluded that chest from my rotation, I guess it is.
Mine. All mine.
Oh. Wrong button. Do. I think we're going to start out with the Cosmic Observatory in challenge mode, because that's the only one we're probably doing on challenge mode today. And the challenge mode ones are the true weeklies. Most of them are worth doing on a daily basis because they still give decent loot daily. But the challenge modes gives their bonus loot weekly, so I think we'll start with that to have that out of the way. And make sure that we get that done before we are moving on to the meta events here at 3 o'clock. So yeah, if anyone watching right now wants to join the group for challenge mode Cosmic Observatory, please just write your character name in chat. I don't need your account name. I don't need the little like name.4 ciphers. I just need a character name. I can /invite. As long as you have a build, I believe you'll be fine. Just know the basics of how to play your character, and the mechanics will be just fine. Watch a 4-minute Muglock video. I'll put that video in the group chat description, because that's generally how I find groups for it. I like getting new players through it, which means I generally say have some kill proof or watch this 4-minute video that Muglock made. Get to the point. He has a great series about just how to do the different strikes, just summing up their mechanics basically. And I think just watching that makes a huge difference. And then if somebody makes 1 or 2 mistakes during the actual time it takes, like, it'll be fine. We've proven just last week, honestly, we've proven that you can easily do it even if someone dies early, so you're technically just nine manning it. That's not really a problem. That works out just fine. So it's a very lenient challenge mode, which is also why I think it's a good one to start off with if you're a beginner. And you want, you know, you've tried a couple of strikes, you think, I would like to do the most profitable strikes, then starting out with the challenge mode of Cosmic Observatory is a good way to get there. Definitely. That was basically the character rotation. Just, this is the character I generally play on nowadays, my main, so to speak.
This is a place of refuge.
Remember, each week, if you've unlocked the... Oh, what is that called again? We're going at Masteries, End of Dragons. If you've unlocked Globalization in Arborstone Revitalization, then each week you can go to Levias here, and you can grab these Antique Summoning Stones. Each of these sell on the trading post for about 2 gold. So, you know, purchase 1 gold, sell for 2 gold minus 15%, so 75 silvers. I'm not gonna use those, I'm gonna use these two, that's fine.
Thank you.
Because then you get like 75 silvers difference, and for just purchasing an item, seems pretty worthwhile to me. I'm also just gonna do while I'm here. Okay, while waiting for you to get on again, let's just say 4th tier. We want the 3rd and 4th tier of anything. Whenever there's a 4th tier one, we buy it. There. I'm currently just selling out of whatever I think is something I don't use for anything else, getting a little bit extra value out of it here. 4th tier, nice. I know technically I should grab the bag of jewels too. I'll do it now that I'm on stream, just to encourage you guys to do the same. I just don't feel like I've had a lot of luck with them. I'm not gonna do it for these.
Goodbye.
But they are technically also valuable, oftentimes.
You can never have too much treasure.
Go. Are you ready to fight? You
A
are.
practical
That's great.
demonstration then.
Strong.
Let's see how you fare. You're a fast learner.
There we go.
Well fought. I could learn a thing or two from you.
Also just a nice little bunch of random loot from doing almost nothing in Arborstone. And you can see the End of Dragons like experience track is very like small. It only takes 254,000 experience per spirit shard. So like look at that enormous jump. And I think that's because I also have a doubling. I have the celebration boost. I think... No, that's only experience gain from kills. I have experience gain from everything from something. Yeah, returning hero boost, 30% experience gain. There's the incredibly well rested, 25% experience gain. So all in all, you just easily fill up this. That's also one of the reasons it makes a lot of sense to do the meta events here while this event is on. You gain a huge amount of experience, especially if you're done with the masteries. You'll get a lot of spirit shards. It's very nice. Very, very nice. Wizard's Tower. And I am going to start up a group, which means I'll just really quickly plop this one here-ish to cover up. Oh, I think I moved it to the middle actually. Last time I played alone. I did. Excellent. It's just I don't want to like dox people I know, or well, doxing is a big word for it, but you know, get their character names out there too much if I can avoid it. So to make a squad, we're going to create it. Because we're a commander, we have some options. We're going to click it into raid mode. That means if you're not a commander, I think it's always in raid mode. But yeah, we're going to want it in raid mode here. Then we need to find the right thing, the strike missions, the experienced one.
So, what brings you?
Wow, going through all of the CMs, that's pretty cool. But we are not going to do that. We're just going to say CO for Cosmic Observatory, CM for challenge mode. And then I play a quick build, generally. Whenever I look over here, I actually look at you. That's a little weird. I should be looking up here. Whenever I generally play a quick build. So I want 2 healers, because I'm a quick DPS. I want 2 alacrity gain people, because I don't give alacrity. And I want 1 quick person. Altogether, the healers also give a boon. So what I'm looking for here is 3 character. 1 healer that gives either Alac or Quick. 1 healer that gives either Alac or Quick. And 1 DPS that gives the boon that none of the healers give. And I'm going to say, to join this squad, I want you to have some KP. KP short for kill proof, which means items that show that you've killed the boss before. Or there's also a third-party website. I don't use that. When people join my squad and they send like a string of 6 to 8 letters and numbers, I just assume that they know the website and that they have kill proof on there. Because I can't be bothered to actually set up that website. Or watch the video in group squad description. Squad message, I think it's called. And then to be open and honest about everything, I'm going to say that this squad is being chill streamed over at Mook Chivalry. So that people know what they're getting into. I am, you know, blocking the chat with my beautiful face, but it seems fair. It seems fair. So I'm going to advertise this group. And then we are going to, I just need to find the video, and I'm going to say COCM, get to the point. It should just pop up here at the top. It does. Muglock, I've already gotten all of your delicious, delicious knowledge. I just want the link so that I can, oh, there's already a joiner. Say slash squad. Here, welcome. KP or video. We got a quick healer. It's squad message. Search COCM. Get to the point on YouTube. Ooh. Come. So that's just a pure DPS. That's fine. So what's happening here is that as people join, again, I'm not actually going to show you the chat, but I'm going to describe it. As people join, they are stating their role. So one of them said that they were a quick healer, and one of them said that they were, I am indeed. Love the quick summaries of strikes he does. And one of them said that they were DPS. Both of them sent small codes with, they are 5 ciphers long, and they are numbers and letters. And those, I know those codes mean that they are what are they called? They are using that website that tracks your things so that you can open your chest and still prove that you have actually killed the boss before. And then one of them wrote and commented on the fact that I reference that I reference a Muglock video and send people in the direction of that, which I then answered, because I think one of the most important things when you have the basics down, which is what kind of roles do you need, the most important thing you can do as a squad commander is to be the mood of the party. That is, you know, be inviting, be helpful, do all of that. I am just going to really quickly see this and say Skadi is an A heal. I'll just remove the group from... That's one of the things. If you feel overwhelmed, if a lot of people join at once, just remove the group from the looking for group for a while, sort it out, and then just put it back up there again. It'll remember your message. So, welcome. One of them said they would fill. Bolachas, can you please go ADPS? Because I am doing the quick DPS for my group, and Skadi here is doing the Alec heal. So we have Alec, quick, and a healer, and we have a quick healer here. So we just need an Alec DPS. Now both groups have the things that they need. Hey Nymph, are you KP or video? And then I'll just put the thing back up again. We actually have all of the roles that we need now, so we're just going to write DPS here. But yeah, as I said, one of the most important things you can do as a commander is just being the mood of the group, because people perform better. All of the science support this. People perform better when they feel comfortable. That means that if you go into a strike mission and everyone is like, okay, everybody better get it right. If you don't get it right, you're out. You're the worst person ever, and you should uninstall the game. Then people are going to be more worried about actually, worried about their performance, and that's going to mean that they can't focus as well on the fight, because they are... Oh, we just had a person leave down here, I could see. So I need to edit, and I'm going to say I need a Q heal. There we go. People are just going to be a lot more worried about how they perform, and when they spend time worrying about how they perform instead of just performing, they will do worse. I do get that there are some people that really would prefer doing some very, very quick, like we do it in 7 minutes instead of 10, and we're going to get through it in one try. It's very important for us that, you know, we never, ever, ever, ever have a single wipe. That's fine too. You can. That's usually what in other games you would do a static for, right? You'd find a group of friends that you will do it with every week, because then it's easy. And in this game, there are enough people doing it, which I think is a good thing. There are enough people doing it that people are actually just looking for random people to do it with, instead of being very focused on that, like, just having one static. But it also means that they have very... 2 seconds. That they have very broad requirements. Hey, welcome. That they have very, very, very broad requirements to what, like, is required. The classic example is people that want 250 legendary insights to join a strike mission, and a legendary insight is generated every time you do all 4 strike missions in End of Dragons, you know, the weekly thing, or every time you do a complete challenge mode strike or the like. It's a lot of times that you have to do them to get those 250. The other way, the more efficient way to get them is raids, but if you have to do raids to do strikes, that's just a little weird. Welcome. People in group 1, you're all DPS. And could all of you please tell me whether you have some KP or are watching the short video? Heart emoji, because, you know, we want people to know that they are welcome. This is one of those things that can also be difficult, right? The squad is just filled up. Are you going to tell 9 other people that you will take 4 minutes to watch a video instead of being ready right now? I want to make sure that they know that that's exactly what I want them to do. I want them to watch that video. I'm willing to make the entire squad wait 4 minutes to do that. Good enough. I don't... Okay, here's how little I actually care about kill proof. Is that... It's that... These people were all like, yeah, I've done it a couple of times, I've done it once, you know, I can find it for you if you want, I can do that website thing, but I've just activated it, blah blah blah. No clue.
Take my
Okay. I'll do a ready check. I don't think anyone is watching the video, but if you are, don't press ready till you're done. We'll wait for that. Smiley. Sure. One of them just asked to do a quick relog. That's also fine. Just, you know, be nice and positive. And if things take 1 minute more here, 1 minute more there, it's not a big deal. It's fine. If you kick someone for it, you will just risk having to wait that minute anyways. You know, waiting for another person to fill that specific role.
You cannot take my power.
Okay. Melon, you... I can see that we have one person that are still standing in the wizard's tower, so I'm just asking nicely if they plan to come into the instance. Usually this will happen when someone has a bug where they don't actually get like into it. Yeah. Oh, nice. 2 seconds. It happens when you stand in pools too much. The answer is to not stand in pools.
Keep them away.
Otherwise, wait for people to almost kill you. Ready check. Woo! So, one of the people just asked me what they should do if they became red. This boss has a mechanic on this difficulty where she will... Let me just grab that. Okay. She has a mechanic where she will... I think that's me. Yes. I'm moving backwards because green line, I am the one targeted. I want to stand behind everyone else because that reduces the damage dealt to me at the cost of a little bit of damage dealt to each of them. Now it's another person, and they're doing the thing. They're just moving a little bit to each side, seeing what they can get away with, basically. Like, is it me? Is it not me? And when they find out that it moves in the same pattern as them, they know it's them. So they know to move backwards. Here we're just spreading out. So yeah, this boss has a mechanic that makes you become an enemy to your team. 2 2 seconds. I'm just focusing up a little bit here. There we go. So this boss has a mechanic that makes you become an enemy to your team, but that mechanic is specifically tied to messing up another mechanic. So the important mechanic to understand. The important mechanic to understand is the mechanic that. Okay. We're making good time. It's that mechanic. These pools. Am I the one being targeted? I am not. But yeah, these. Oh my god. Oh, that sucks. That sucks. That sucks. That sucks. Someone didn't do a good job with those pools. So yeah, when you stand in those pools specifically, you get a debuff on you called residual anxiety. When that debuff reaches 10 stacks, that's when you turn on your team basically, and they will have to, you know, hit you until you are at very low life to get you back up again. But if people are playing this right, then that never happens basically. A lot of people standing in multiple missiles. Did I stand in a missile too? I thought we actually got through those. Okay. It's fine. We're probably fine. But yeah, it's clear to see that this group isn't the most experienced group you've run with. You had the person who will. You have to try to be hit by as few of those as possible. I sucked very badly at that, clearly. Because each one reduces your damage by 25%. So I'm doing 75% less damage right now. Which is like terrible for actually reaching and doing this in time, right? So you want to have as little of that as possible. I'm not the one targeted.
Don't be shy.
Yeah, that was really bad timing of that. Okay. Okay, I have this thing on me. So you can see these are the pools that you're supposed to make sure that they don't go with your team. So I'm just going to move in this direction because they're going to chase me for a while. You know, moving away from my team, Going to move around so I can get back to them a little bit. Because in a second here, the pools will stop chasing me and we will be back.
Refreshing.
That was a very weird transition. Usually that transition happens not while those pools are still up like that. That was super, super weird. But yeah, you can see I usually look at this timer and go each phase you basically want there to be 2.5 minutes left. So we're a little bit behind time in this phase because we actually wanted there to be done with this when there were 5 minutes left and not 4 minutes 45 seconds. Because basically there are 3 phases, and if you have a quarter of the fight's time left, by the time you've done a quarter of her life plus one of the 3 phases, then you're golden. Of course, it doesn't matter too much. I think this is we should just wipe here though, because 2 people just died. Which is crazy. How did they die? Okay. Slash squad. GG. We're resetting. Okay. healer left.
Keep them
Gotta
away.
grab a new one. Okay. So, just gonna grab this down here so that I can open this. And what you saw there was we have to get a new one up, and what we specifically have to need is an A heal. Yeah, here's a couple of pointers. Nah, what do we... The most important thing is the pool control. When you're targeted by those pools, please move far away from the...
Get away from me.
True. Thanks, Ola. Just gonna move this down here again, because then we're going to... not H, of course, Y. There we go. Group description, A heal / A DPS. Oh, right, and it's actually Boon heal. Or ADPS. Okay, so if any of you felt the pools were weird, please look up
Keep them
the
away.
whatever. We got a new one. It's fine. We'll just try again. That is, again, the risk, so to speak. Welcome. And the Q heal. Aw, Thomas, watching this at work, that makes perfect sense. Good time to do it, right? Who was the healer in group 3? I hope you're having a nice day at work. It's nice legendary panda. There we go. Just moving you up and you down. Hold on. I did something wrong here.
Get away from me. And a DPS build ready. Q healers. Good. Okay, we got this, we got there. People are flexible, which is very nice. Because I just made the mistake of going that, oh right, he can flex, and but of course it wasn't his healer that had left, it was my healer that had left, and I can only do quick. Perfect. Thanks, Panda. So... John Rowland, Ironside. Panda is moving over to a pure DPS. We need you up here. We need you down here. You stay a DPS then. Wasn't your healer that left, but mine, basically. And then I Yeah.
Keep them away.
Super optional. We were close even with the first death early. But then some two people stood close and died. 3 deaths are too much. Basically, look at the timer. If you are, if we have 2:30 left per mob phase left, we're good. So 7:30 after first mob. Nice. I need the cured meat and flatbread. I think that's the condition damage. I can also add a tuning crystal. There we go. Now I'm very representative. Look at all of the food and stuff. So 7:30. Thank you. A good call. Have a good call. Whatever you'd say to that. Thanks for stopping by. Okay. So once more, we're doing this.
Knowledge is rocket punch.
And clicking 2 times here, then sending them over to her. Alright, so when this one is below 10%, you can go out and grab the next one. That'll be prepared. You will have more than enough time for this to wear off, and when it wears off, you can... Oh. Well, you can't if she does that. I'll just grab another one, because she will have her shield up again. There we go. But sometimes she will have a little bit of shield uptime where you won't actually have the spawns of those things out there, but you can make sure to have grabbed those before that shield uptime comes up again. We just have to move out here. And if you grab them, that one was too late. If you grab them after this one turns below 10, then you will have it up for use on her again after she... Oh. Successful dodges. Nice. Oh. That was not a successful dodge, however. That was me being a fool, and I was the one targeted by pools. Oops. My bad. Should still be doable, though. I'll call out GG if timer gets behind. Too far behind. Well, this leaves us open to actually just debate some of her mechanics and go... She has the same mechanic as the Kaineng guy does. She throws out spears, or whatever you'd call them, at different targets. And you have to stand away from each other. You cannot be hit by more than one of those. That also means that if you're a DPS that isn't targeted and you stand on top of her, you will also... absolutely be wrecked by more than one and be downed, and if you're hit by 3 in a row, you'll likely be dead. Yeah, the other one is this pool one. Someone is being targeted by pools that follow them around. You can see it here. They are moving out of the way, away from the rest of the group, because after all pools have spawned, they will all follow. Then one by one, they will stop as they expire, they time out. But they were targeted, this is the example, they were targeted by too many pools. Slash squad. Say is Dominated. Hit them. Yep. So when you're hit by too many pools, you get too much growing anxiety, 10 stacks, then you become an enemy, or whatever you call it. You become hostile to the rest of your group until they down you. And you can see it again here, being followed by the pools. The pools will stop one at a time, and you will be free to move back to the group after that. Very important that you don't move back in too early, because having a pool around when you're trying to maneuver the group is very, very annoying. Making good time so far. Then this is the mob phase. Someone gets targeted by the pools. Kise is very unlucky, 3 times in a row being targeted. But yeah, I like to do the thing where I just run around the entire arena and then come back, because in that way I just know that I'm sure that I'm back. But yeah, they are unlucky. A champion is standing inside of the bad zone. Timing, being positive here, it's very nice, because you can see they have more than 5 minutes left after the second one. And remember, after the third one, if they have 2 minutes and 30 seconds left after the third one, there will not be a fourth minion phase. She will just die when she reaches 0% health, which means they will have enough time to technically do all of her 25% health and a minion phase. And that minion phase will be 40 seconds-ish. So, in fact, you will be okay with like having only, say, 2 minute 10 left or something like that. Because, again, you don't have to do that phase. You should be able to kill her in that time. But, of course, all the time that you can get left over is nice. There's another takeover. Large is taken over. Down them. It's one of the things that's difficult to be aware of, because in a group that's a little more experienced than we are here, usually people don't get taken over. People move out of the way of those pools, and even when they're targeted with the pools don't attack you the first time they hit you. They don't attack you until after you've stood in them for a little bit. So, oh, this is really bad. There's a lot of pooling on top of people going on right now. But they're being pulled out. That's nice. Good. So usually... friendship is what I call the hammer I hit people with when they turn. What was I saying before I was making jokes? Because someone said, use the power of friendship. And I was like, yeah, friendship is the hammer that we hit people with. But yeah, basically we're doing okay with this. 240. Good. Good timing. Enough time left to kill her. Minions. As long as you don't lose to the break bar. She has an ability where she will stand up and you'll have to break her. And sometimes when groups feel like, oh yeah, we're in the green, it's good, no need for anything here. Sometimes they accidentally like, oh, I see. So she gets demonic aura shielding whenever these pulls. Yeah, this break bar. If people aren't ready for that, Sometimes they're like, oh, we're in the easy phase, no problem, and they forget to hit their CC abilities, and then they don't win. Good job. So yeah, that's the only like risky part of this. Mostly you're golden. If you have 2 minutes and 30 seconds left when you finish the last minion phase, then you're golden. Good job, everyone. Very nice. Boop. People were kind enough to... Oh. Shouldn't everyone be able to get up? Huh.
Keep them away.
I don't think there's a chest here anyways. I am not experienced with KOCM, unfortunately. Do. But it's one of the things that I'm looking into. Maybe I should just do a couple more of these like challenge mode strikes, a little bit more routine, see if I can just semi-easily get them done. Because then we could move on to have more CM things. I don't think you sell for a lot, do you? Nah, we're just gonna... The same thing for you, I assume? Yeah.
You can never have too much treasure.
Take my...
So... Oh, no, I need those rares to go off first. So first of all... Did I run out of the kits? Black Lion... Yeah, I did. Well, then I can show off. There are a bunch of Black Lion salvage kits you can get each time this comes up. So, you know, I like to just grab it there, because that means that the Black Lion salvage kits get you a high chance of good stuff from exotics. You can see both higher chances of globs of dark matter. I think you'll always get ectoplasm from exotics, but higher chances of globs of dark matter, higher chances of getting the sigils and the inscriptions and stuff like that. And you can see the things I just salvaged were selling for like 65 silver each. This one sold for 71. This one I think is cheaper. Yeah, that's just a single silver. But then they also gave us 5 globs of ectoplasm, which is like another gold 45. And these are used for crafting Ascended, clearly. So, just, it's always nice. It is always nice. And I'll just...
That looks valuable.
Pop those. Get them salvaged too. 16 globs of ectoplasm from 13, 14 rares. That also seems nice. Good job. Good job. I said as if RNG is something that that has a job. Thank you, Granada. I'm happy you joined and glad to do it with you. I'm assuming I'm going to guess that you were Bolachas, because Bolachas seemed to be more aware and more flexible and more like, this is a stream and I'm joining this specifically, even though / because of it's a stream. So that's my assumption that that was you. We have about an hour left until the other one. So I think... Oh, you're Kisei! Oh, nice. You were really unlucky the last time we did this, where you got targeted like 3 times in a row by the pools. That was super unlucky. I was dead, so I had a lot of time to look at that. Because I messed up. I get that. I really get that. You did very well with the entire moving far away from the group and making sure that, you know, you didn't come back to the group. There was someone else in the group, I don't know who, but someone, when they got targeted by the pools, they really left the pools very close to the group instead of moving far out. So you did a great job with getting that out. I saw you get taken over a single time, which means you probably still got hit by, like, standing in the pools, being a little too slow to move out of them. Probably because you were still doing DPS while you were in the pools. I saw you standing and shooting. I would probably just drop the DPS and just not even worry about it, because again, it's not really that hard of a DPS check to finish off the boss. And in the case of you going rogue and having to be taken down and then rest, that, you know, will probably be a bigger DPS loss overall than just not DPSing while running away from pools. So I'd just be that little bit less ambitious or meta or whatever you'd want to call it, and then just play it that little bit safer. But, you know, again, you did very well, especially getting targeted that many times in a row. That's super stressful, man. And I'm just going to go right, because I'm going to grab the 5 IBS strikes now. Those are also, they're generally very quick and they give a lot of money. They are very profitable to do basically as many times as you can get around to them. Strike missions. KO CO. I'm not sure I know what KO and CO is. Like, this one is called Forging Steel. The DS is the Dragonstorm. CO is probably Cold War. But shouldn't that be CW? Like, if I say Joint Strike Mission, the Cold War is the daily, so it makes sense that people are doing this even though you don't generally do it. Cosmic Observatory. That makes sense. It's because they are... KO is kiting Overlook. I just saw the IBS and I was like, what are these Icebrute Saga strikes? But that's, of course, they are going with the other ones. So they are doing the daily Cosmic Observatory, and these guys are also doing the daily kiting Overlook. Yeah. Thank you, Granada. That's good point. Very, very good point. Well, we're just going to be doing the IBS 5 plus CW. I think we're going to do the IBS 6. And then go for 2 heal, 2 Alak, 1 quick. This squad is being chill streamed over at Mook Chivalry. There we go. Again, I just think it's one of those things that some of the previous streams I've done, people have been like, it takes a while right now, maybe don't write that. And I'm like, yeah, but people deserve to know that they're being put on the internet, right? Like, it just seems like good ethical behavior. And I don't think we're generally waiting that long for it. But yeah, it just seems like the right thing to do, to write to people that they're being put on the internet, even if I do, like, obscure, or whatever you'd call it, the chat log, because I don't want anyone who's frustrated and maybe says some negative things, I don't hold that against them. It is the internet, it is our time, it is our free time. We all want it to be, you know, something where we get the things we want done while we have the time for it. I understand why people sometimes get a little bit not nice, and I do call them out for it, but I don't want to like put their names forever on the internet for being a little bit rude sometimes. I think that's, you know, outside the scope of what the punishment for being a rude boy should be. Again, not that a lot of people are watching this stream, it's not that big, but, you know, when it's on the internet, it's on the internet forever, and who knows where things go, right? I do think, however, because of how I usually name it myself, I think instead of calling it IBS 6, I'm just gonna call it IBS 5 plus Cold War, because that just feels more right to me. Because, honestly, the 6th, if that's Cold War, if that's Forging Steel, more up to debate than what the 5 are. Oop, there we have the first joiner. Very nice. Do love myself an A-heal. I should probably just honestly keep this up while I'm editing it. Yeah, welcome. Smiley face. Another A-heal. Do love that. Then we just need one QDPS. Like, this is the behavior I'm talking about, right? Kining Overlook, not challenge mode. Please have 100 legendary insights. And if you were to get those legendary insights just purely by doing strike missions in... Hi. Welcome. And now we just need DPS to fill. There we go. Alright, so if you were doing just strike missions in to get those, you would have to weekly strike missions. Where are my weekly strike missions for? Weekly Canther strikes. Oh yeah, it's that weekly Canther strikes, right? You'd have to do tier 4. Tier 4 means doing 4 strikes. You'd have to do 4 of these 5 strikes for 100 weeks to get the 100 legendary insights. That's 400 strikes to get there. That's crazy. Hey, welcome all. I want at least one rogue in my party. I want one of these. I'll give at least one necromancer to those guys. That seems right. Good. And join a strike mission, which is gonna start with the priority strike. Some people like to wait with the priority strike as the last strike they do, because when they do that, then people are less likely to, you know, go, oh, I've gotten what I came for, I'm going to leave now. Some people do that, unfortunately. So, yeah. But I like to just start off with it. Get it done, get it out of the way. Boom. I have a lot of time left on this, right? Yep, I do. Okay. So this mission you generally leave out of your run unless it's the daily one, because you know we want these dailies. Because we want the big blue jade crystals that they give for the weekly chest. Doing this once a week when it's daily is also nice, again because that chest gives more stuff if you have done it for that week. But this is what makes it something that you generally don't do. This like 8 minutes of just stand here and kill mobs as they come in. It's such a long time to spend. There's no challenge to it. It's just stand around, kill mobs. If you're optimizing, you will go out and you will get these things that they drop, because then you can get all 3 types of the power off thing to be more efficient. But it's just... yeah. This is not the most fun anyone has ever done, and because it takes 8 whole minutes, that reduces the, you know, gold per hour of doing it by a lot, because that's just such a long time for, like, a pre-event thing to happen. Then when you kill people with bazookas, they drop their bazookas, and you can shoot down the copters with it. And when you shoot down enough copters, you get some artillery. I'm speaking a little bit too fast. When you kill these cannoneers, they drop bazookas, char-zookas. When you pick those up, you can shoot the copters. When you shoot enough copters, you get the ability to do an artillery strike. And the artillery strikes are nice because you can, if you're a coordinated group, you can time them out over multiple waves of mobs. And you can basically like get a lot cleared. And the more you clear, this bar points to the next chest. The more you clear during these 8 minutes, the more loot you get at the end. Not like a huge, enormous amount of extra loot, but, you know, anything counts, right? That's the basics for me, yeah. But... yeah, as I said, this part of it, not very exciting. You shoot down these with the char-zookas. You kill things as they spawn. Sometimes you get to call down an artillery strike. Do. They don't even... I mean, it would feel better if these guys dropped like any sort of loot. You can see here's someone using the artillery strike ability that they just got. I'm saving mine, because if we all 8 used it at the same time there, it would not really, like... that's not a lot of extra value, so to speak. Whereas if we time them out, they're also nice to do just after you break one of the bosses that come out sometimes. That's just one of the ways that you can also be dealing a lot of damage. But of course you break the boss a little late, so it's also something that you can do like on the boss at the start. You can see a lot of us have saved it for this, because dealing some extra damage to the boss, getting that down quickly, gets you faster to the next time. You know, they die quickly. They die really quickly. All of the spawning mobs, the boss takes a little bit longer, and nothing new spawns while we wait for it. Just gonna begin killing this musketeer. But yeah, groups with people who are efficient about shooting down the copters and who are very good at killing the bosses, they get like 6-7 extra chests. So it isn't nothing, but you know, at the same time those chests aren't like... they aren't the hugest loot in the world. So yeah. But we're trying to blast through this also, because we're going to go do this strike mission rotation, the IBS 5, and then we're gonna go see if we can start up a squad in Dragon's End. because the next Dragon's End event should start here at 3 o'clock, so in 45 minutes. And I'd like to show you basically what things to think about if you want to command a squad in Dragon's End, because there's a lot there. I'm just gonna go out here because I almost have it. There we go. Now I have the green Power of Valor thing. It's a little bit extra. There's a lot to gain, I think, from doing the knowing the Dragon's End thing, because it's one of the meta events that can actually sometimes fail, which is ludicrous compared to, like, there's a lot of meta events that just don't ever fail. Like, as long as there's 10 people in the map, it won't fail. Dragon's End, you can mess up dealing with the boss, even if the map is full, and even if everyone is doing decent builds. Just if they're not dodging backwards when she slams down her claw, that's a lot of DPS lost. If there aren't enough people breaking her break bar, that's a lot of DPS lost. If people aren't going into all of the... she has a phase where she makes people into crystals, and if people don't go into those, that's a lot of DPS lost as well. Because those give buffs for the people who've been wisps. Like 50% extra damage or something. It's a crazy strong buff. So there's a lot of easy to miss mechanics, and there's a lot of... The boss doesn't have a lenient timer. The boss will just enrage, or whatever you call it. So it's yeah, it's a thing. It's definitely a thing. Wait, where did that... Ah, there it is. Does it have like a stealth skill or something? Because that was weird. Oh, oopsie. Wrong target. Press your special action skill to stun the boss. That's it's good to know that the group can do this, because that's one of the important things against Bone Skinner and Wisp of... It's generally one of the things that they like to do a lot in this expansion. It's like every single one of these rounds of things will have a boss break bar where at the same time as its bar breaks, so to speak, we will get a special action. And that special action will do a lot of damage to the break bar. So everyone... And the break bar will be made so that when everyone clicks it at the same time, the boss will actually break. So it's one of those, like... You really want to have a group where all 10 people break it. You can be okay with having a group where a little bit less people break it. Because even if not all 10 does it, if 9 people all like do the special action for the break, and then also say use some extra break bar mechanics, you can make up for a person or two not breaking. But like, if and now we don't even get the special. Sometimes they go a little bit out of whack in these where there are a lot of extra mobs. But like, using your special action whenever it comes up on an Ice Brute Saga boss makes you a pro. It makes you it makes you attractive to the opposite gender, or the same gender if you're attracted to the same gender. It makes you a Chad. It makes you it gives you plus 50 aura. It insert all kinds of positive things that it does. If you just click that damn button. Just please do it. Just please, 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 please do it. That's my honest plea. Just that button, the special action button in Icebrood Saga is there for a reason. It is the most important button to press. You want to do it. We should have 6 chests here, I believe. 7 chests. Ooh, fancy. This was a good group for this. Very nice. Small thing to be aware of. You can see my mastery bar here is filled. I don't have the full Icebrood Saga mastery, so I'm not getting all of my spirit shards from filling out experience in that. But I do have my Central Tyria mastery. So, coming out here into the Eye of the North. Loading screen, loading screen, loading screen, loading screen. Coming out here into the Eye of the North. And not opening my bags until then. Gives me the experience in this bar. Woo! So now I get more stuff. More spirit shards, which mean more gold. Like, I have a guide on that. You know, you can check that out on YouTube. A guide on how to convert your spirit shards into gold. They are also used for legendaries. If you're doing a lot of legendaries, you might not want to do all of the spirit shards into gold, but generally, like, I can't get rid of my spirit shards. I have like 1600, something like that. Oh god, I'm up to 700, 1750 again. It's been too long since I've used some of them. It's just, they keep accumulating, and they accumulate quickly the second you begin getting some of your masteries done. So filling out a mastery track on any expansions gives you so much value over time. Like, incredible amounts of value, because each spirit shard is conservatively a gold's worth.
Conditions have gotten worse in Spangarland. We'll have to find another way up.
So, yeah. Doing small things like this is also one of the ways to optimize that gold gain. Like, instead of wasting experience on a track that I can't get, I can instead, you know, convert that experience to a track that I do have unlocked, Central Tyria.
To kill rising.
This storm isn't normal. Blocking us from following Vanguard?
So yeah, that's a tip.
Makes you wonder if it's intentional, and who's pulling the strings.
Watch yourself out there, Commander.
Doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doo.
Nice gear.
Whoop. 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 Okay, someone got up there.
Commander.
Beacon.
I should be there.
You're being a distraction.
Ready check. Woo! Let's grab a little bit of energy drink.
Refreshing.
This, however, is the easiest boss of them all. Like, I think if every single one of us, except the healers, like, removed our hands from the keyboards for the entire boss fight, I'm not even sure the bonus 2 chest would disappear before we had killed it, just as long as we were auto-attacking it. That's probably a little bit excessive, but like, we're halfway done with this thing. There's 3 minutes left. We just started it. The difficulty in this strike comes from actually having to do a little jumping puzzle to get here. And only one person has to do the jumping puzzle, so... As we used to say in my gaming group, easy Katka. Because Katka means game, and it's one of the things that, like, toxic Russians in League of Legends would say to you, and then we like appropriated it from them. The Europe East servers. When you played on Europe East servers, you also sometimes met Russians in League of Legends, and the Russians were, I mean, not all of them were toxic people, but a lot of toxicity came from them, especially that, you know, easy game toxicity. So, yeah, easy katka is Russian toxicity. It means easy game. I don't know if anyone wanted to know that, like... I don't even know if they say that anymore. That's probably, like, dating me to back before... before there were any champions, basically. I remember in League of Legends back when... I don't remember which champion came out when, but, like, before Brand, before... Asia, before I'm gonna stop now before I actively get and like have to find a cane or something to walk with. Oh. Let's just enjoy that this more than also 20-year-old game. Oh, it's crazy. It's crazy that these games are so old. I think I have my Ridlock statue somewhere. Like, I ordered this game as, like, the collector's edition, and I got a Ridlock. It was plastic, it was terrible quality, but the collector's edition came with a Ridlock statue. It was very nice. I haven't really, like, again, it was... I've never been much for the physical rewards in the collector's editions. In those cases, I'm kind of okay with or happy with that we've just converted into purely digital... Yeah, purely digital editions and stuff like that. But one thing I do miss, and now... Oh, God, this is also so... Back in my day, when games were still on discs, when World of Warcraft came out, and when World of Warcraft The Burning Crusade came out, when Guild Wars 2 came out, all of these things, we used to go down into the shops to buy the games at midnight releases. And if you wanted a collector's edition, you had to stand in queue there, you had to be there before, like, a shop would have 10 to 12 of these collector's editions, so you would have to be one of the first 12 people in queue to buy it. Unless, you know, someone didn't want it, but most people who were there early enough to be the first 12 people wanted a collector's edition. So you'd stand there from like 8 o'clock in the evening and those 4 hours until midnight happened, and then you would rush home to install your brand new game so that you could play it as quickly as possible. But then games became digital, right? Games became digital and no longer... And if we were to do a midnight release nowadays, going to the midnight release would put you behind the leveling of other people. So if you wanted to be efficient at the game, which most people who are nerdy enough to buy the collector's editions do want to be efficient. But if you want to be efficient at the game, like, you have to be at home when it comes out. And so a midnight release would mean you would have to be playing it, because you'd pre-install it before then. You'd have to play it at midnight. So if you bought it in the physical store at midnight and then came home and then had to install it from there, crazy. Crazy how, like, you'd lose like 2 hours or something like that. Less if you're lucky and live close to the shop. I didn't, but... The point being... I kind of miss those times. I miss the times when you would meet the other local nerds, like, just at random, that once every year or every 1.5 years when, you know, the new game would come out and everyone would queue up in the physical location. and then you didn't have to talk with them the rest of the year. It's not like a community where you'd have to be very, very social. You just all stood in that queue and you were like, oh, we're so hyped for this game. And felt natural. Felt nice. And we don't do that anymore because... Not because the internet ruined anything, because it's super convenient with downloadable games. And I think it would be so whack for the, like... Imagine saying, okay, so the game comes out at... press special action button. Here we go. Woo! Everyone pressing it. Not everyone pressed that special action button. No. But imagine saying, oh, the game comes out at midnight. And then you can't actually play it until 2 o'clock because we want to make space for people who still want to buy it. Like, that would be crazy. That would be crazy. But, you know, it's how it is sometimes. Special action button? I didn't get my special action button. Oh, that's one of those problems with when we have a lot of, like, damn, I didn't do it in time. You're supposed to do it when it's like 80% of the way out. And if you do it too late, that's a really bad thing. Oh, just GG here. I didn't notice how many people died there. I think we might be on the Wisp problem. Which isn't on the healers entirely, but with lack of reflect or grasp, the wisps multiply and they hit hard. They're actually meant to be dealt with, but we're all teasing this battle. Yes, we need reflect. Or just block if no reflect is had. So I'm going to switch to my corrosive poison cloud. Corrosive poison cloud blocks missiles for 8 seconds. It's a nice one. The actual way to do Bone Skinner includes lighting the braziers to deal with wisps, but no one does that. Instead, we reflect their stuff. Alright. Let's try again. Smitey. It's one of those things, right? Like, these 6 braziers, there's an entire mechanic involving, like, lighting them. I don't even know how to light them. I just know that the actual mechanic is to... yeah. That'll help, too. Raise up its thing. It's going to go on the back legs, and we'll have our special action button. Boop. Not enough people pressing the special action button, but that's what happens sometimes. And 80% of the way you dodge. And what I was looking at was the red circle on the floor expanding. That's what I was actually waiting for to go up. Whoop.
Refreshing.
A little help.
Yeah. I didn't actually have anything left to do there. That's the wisp damage. Anyone able to go more? Yeah. Good idea. I mean, more healing is a way to deal with this. Sometimes you don't have enough reflect, and or you don't have enough reflect, and or the healers aren't doing enough, and or too many people are standing in the mechanics, so there is, you know, less. They're taking up healing that should be used on the wisp damage. Sometimes a combination of that is happening, and you just have to either bring more reflect or bring another healer. And the choice we made in this group here is we're going to bring another healer. Also, the break mechanic, it's made so that it breaks with 10 of the special actions. So if everyone presses the special action when it goes on its hind legs, it should break. Standard hotkey N for some reason. Missile reflect protects against wisp attacks. Not the trap. Okay.
Strong. Eat my dust.
Have to move left when it raises its standing like this. It's right leg, and we have to hit it with CC when it's on its hind legs. Standing. Cool. Little bit of coaching, and let's try it again. It's one of those things where, you know, experience will get people into the routine of this. I am more than happy being the person that takes a couple of tries on this, just to make sure that more people can get into the rhythm, because strikes are actually... there are just enough mechanics with this that Bone Skinner is actually quite fun. He's on his hind legs, so in a second here, special action, CC, we didn't get it. Not everyone used their special action again. It's okay. You don't actually have to use the special action even to, like, get dodge roll, even, like, to get the most out of it. Yeah.
Your spirit is mine.
Whoop. I pressed that a little bit too early. I was worried that it would go away, because it sometimes does, and the fact that sometimes the special action procs outside of the mechanic you're actually meant to use it for, and then sometimes that means it's on some sort of, like, I don't know, cooldown or something when the mechanic you're actually meant to be using it for comes up, is so weird to me. Like, that seems like a design flaw more than it seems like a player should learn to use this mechanic flaw. But, you know, it's all good. We have an extra healer. That extra healer is doing very well. So we are definitely going to be getting it. And also that extra healer is bringing more... what's that called? Oh, Whoopsie. That extra healer is bringing more missile reflect. You can see the big Mesmer dome coming up regularly. That's very, very nice. This dome that we're in here, that kills the wisps. You can see that wisp is almost dead, even though it was far away from the group a second ago. Very beautiful. Very beautiful. Very nice. See the wisps die to the Mesmer dome. And we're leaving the instance. We even noticed that even though we didn't complete it, even though we didn't break it at any point, because the cheese, that's why people do it this way, because the cheese is so effective, we still made it within the get 9 kill proof for Bone Skinner time horizon. See, 9 Bone Skinner ritual vials. That means that we did it within the tightest of the time limits, which is very nice. So yeah, what I'm basically saying is, hooray for that. We are the champions. And it took a couple of tries. And yeah, I understand why people sometimes would be frustrated. But honestly, I think if I'd begun kicking out people at that point, like, I also think I like having people with me. They learn, they get more. But let's say that I was a super efficient person. The only thing that mattered to me was amount of time it takes me to do my dailies and if anyone else, right? I still think there's a very large chance or risk that the wait time for kicking someone, I think, died too fast or whatever. Especially if I'd kicked the healer after that first try. It's just, there's a very good chance that I'd have to wait too long for new people to join anyways. Which is a lot. So, these bosses. One thing you might want to do as a commander is when the Voice of the Fallen gets to about 20%, call the switch so that the entire group knows that it's time to move over. Because that can be a little bit easy to forget, or, you know, if it's unspoken, someone might just never have heard it. But yeah, you want these two to die at the same time. Switch! And then a little heart. It's okay that I deal a little less damage. I'm asking people to switch. And I'm also switching myself. And I'm still dealing a little bit of AoE damage because I'm confident that we are going to kill them at about the same time anyways. We are moving over to the claw here. The claw is going to die in a second, and the voice is going to die basically the second they pop up here. Perfectly executed, no notes. One note, which is, honestly, it isn't that bad. The enrage mode here, when one of them dies, you can be in that for like 30 seconds to a minute, especially if you have good healers. It's not that bad. So if your group kills one of them early, if you're a healer, perk up because you will be needed a lot. But it's definitely still doable. You can still finish it up without a big problem. Yeah, so. And as a commander, just be sure to call out the switch at about those 20%, because otherwise it can be easy for people to take a little bit of time before they switch with you. Seeing that the commander tag is gone and then reacting to it can take a little while. Some people will switch earlier. That's also fine. Again, not really a difficult boss. Not a lot to say about that, I think.
How are you doing?
Whisper of Jormak has a trick. It's nice to have a necromancer because we want the necromancer's flesh worm. Yes, it's time now for me to show you all my flesh worm. All of the puns intended. There we go. Couldn't quite fit through that. So this boss has a couple of things going on that's important to know. The most important ones that aren't just, you know, spread out and don't stand in the fire is that he chains 3 people in your group together, and you have to not stand on top of those chains. And they can be a little bit difficult to spot because you can see a lot of effects going on. So having an eye out for them, I'll show you what they look like once we get chained the first time. But yeah, it's kind of important to not get in front of the chained people, because those chains will kill you very quickly if you stand on top of them. Wow, yeah, I was just about to say, he also does this. He throws everyone out in their own little arena here. And once you kill your own phantom, you can see the other people's phantoms. The DPSs will be done, the pure DPSs will be done first. You can see 3 people are being chained. I am chained to the boss, this guy's chained to the boss, and this guy's chained to the boss. If we stood on top of another chained person, that person would take a lot of damage. So when you are chained, be aware of your own chain. Don't move too much to the side, because you're going to deal a lot of damage to some of the other people. Let them move out of your chain instead of trying to moving out for you. Again, one of the things where special action bar happens when break bar becomes available. So you press that when it becomes available. Pretty easy when you think about it. But it is a mechanic like all other mechanics that you have to just learn it. Again, you can see the chains here. Don't stand on top of those. This is a really good group. Eep. There we go. We were 2 people there being very much trying to not stand in the way of the other person, and because we were trying so hard, both of us, we both stood in the way of the other person. Oops, there are the chains. Trying not to stand on top of those. Especially because if you do stand on top of them and the other person... yeah. Anyways, it's time to show you my flesh worm. Here. In the middle of the boss. That's there. I think. Let's see if I hit that right. If I hit that right, when he begins throwing his balls everywhere, they will all explode on my flesh worm, which means that we will be safe as long as we don't stand in melee. It makes these last 25% of the boss battle super easy, barely an inconvenience. So you can see here, not a single ball is leaving the boss. As long as we don't get close to the boss while that is happening. Normally those balls fly everywhere in the arena, and they will. Again, don't stand close to the boss, however, because you will die instantly, as those 2 people just did. Because all of the balls explode at the same time, in the same place. But yeah, the same happens. Yeah, you just have to place your flesh worm right, because otherwise those balls are just kind of annoying. They hit a person, then they leave a larger area underneath them that you have to get out of, and there's a lot of them, and they spawn. So people do sometimes wipe on that mechanic, and it's very easy for you to as the necromancer to just stop that from happening. I think that was all 6. Yes. Thanks for the group. I'll be off. There we go. And thus, it is time to go back to Cantha. Because, as I mentioned at the beginning of this stream, I wanted to show you guys what it looks like to commander a Dragon's End event. Because that's one of the few meta events that really require some knowledge from the commander side. Most of them you just tag up, and the most important role you'll play as a commander is that people will be able to see you in the looking for group, and they'll be able to join the squad and therefore join the map, and you can get enough people on one map to do it. So I'm just gonna click here, see there is a meta up. Super Tricks, is this guy? Yeah. Okay, so there's already a commander on this map, so I'm going to join their squad instead. And I'm going to find myself and put myself down. 2 quick, 3 Alak. Ah, cool. So the commander is going to be splitting us up because, again, we actually want this for the boss here. We want this group to function like a strike squad, basically. That's how scary this boss is. So what the commander here is doing is that we are going to be separating the one big squad up into 10 different 5-man subgroups. And the commander is using group 2 to show who can give permanent quickness and group 3 to show who can give permanent alacrity. So that in a second, or, you know, when it becomes time for the actual boss... Ooh, Jademore's up. When it becomes time for the actual boss here, he'll be able to sort us all out, make sure that each group, or as many of them as possible, we can... 2 seconds, I'm just getting a little bit focused here.
Eat my dust.
Need to grab a reflecting crystal and get into this thing, because then that charges the reflecting crystal. So that we can... Oh, it didn't charge my reflecting crystal. Sad. It's supposed to charge the reflecting crystal. But yeah, he's going to try to make 10 groups, and all of them should have someone with alacrity and someone with... Oh, there's one. I didn't get there in time. I didn't get there in time. Oh, I did get there in time. Nice. Jademore. And then chug it. Deals a little bit of damage. That's how we kill it. I just have to remember that these big boys actually have Missile Reflect, and Missile Reflect is super scary on a Necromancer. Because we throw a lot of missiles. So yeah. Reflecting Crystal. Look for this. Get inside of this opening. Target the Jademore. Be ready for that. It's charged. Oh, I got downed. That's bad. It's not charged anymore. But yeah, right now it's just... I think it's dead, so we are all going to get targeted here. But having a Reflect Crystal makes it so that, you know...
Strong.
And we killed the Jademore. That's also an achievement you need for some things. It's nice. We get a charge of Dragon's End Contributor. Let's talk about that. Dragon's End, the Dragon's End meta, you can get up to 10 stacks of this Dragon's End Contributor buff, where each stack makes you deal another additional % damage, which is really important. If you can do 10% more damage at the boss permanently, like this build of Necromancer, I have a talent that... which one is it? This one. Soul Barbs, that makes it that so for every time I go into or out of my shroud, I increase my damage output by 10% for 15 seconds. And this entire build requires me to go into and out of shroud every 15 seconds to make sure that I keep that buff up at all times, because that's just how important 10% extra damage is. So, and they also give you an incentive, so to speak, to actually do it. And that incentive is that there will be 10 chests at the end of this event that you can open with these, basically with these. Every chest you open removes 1 stack of this buff. And that means 10 stacks of the buffs gives you 10 extra chests at the end. Which is of course pretty neat. just kind of walking. Oh, I'm just kind of walking around here, looking for events to pop up that I can complete.
Okay, get ready. We're about to march south and pick a fight with an Elder Dragon. Meet at the quarry. We'll set off so we can reach her before nightfall.
Let's see. I mean, there's often more events in the south than there is in the north. The north's, like, readiness was only low, so... No, that seems bad for them, but it's... The readiness doesn't really super mega matter for your experience once you're actually fighting. Okay, everyone is over there, so probably there's an event over there. Let's see if we can make it.
You made it! I thought you were...
I nearly was. Void erupted everywhere.
Okay,
Let's get an excavation kit.
That feels good.
Now bring that cord back to me.
I did not actually look at the thing that I was supposed to do there. I just
Halfway there.
clicked the buttons and got them right at random. That's pretty lucky for me. They also, the tones, I just noticed, they go ascending, so that the deepest tone is 1, the middle tone is 2, and the lightest tone, I guess, is 3. Which... Up, down, middle... There. That actually helps me a lot. That's easier for me than to look at the small icons on the middle of the map. It's just how it is sometimes.
Keep 'em coming.
2, 1,
Thank you.
event done. I get another stack of this Dragon's End contributor. You'll also get like 5, 6 stacks or so.
Nothing is left. I know 2 things.
How far up is Commander?
We have each other.
All the way up there.
We
Wow.
have a lot more work to do.
She's right. If we're to beat the void, we must first understand it.
Okay. Let's get these samples back to Frozen Sea Monastery.
Oh right, there's definitely an event, another event down
I'll
here,
keep searching for core extraction
where they're trying to get that back. That's probably the event that popped up and the event that I kind of left. Do 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 do.
One of the oldest establishments in New Kaineng. Stop by the Red Duck Tea House.
They're running here. Is that... Are they going to actually be an event? I think they are. I think they're supposed to. But yeah, you'll also get like 5-6 stacks during the meta itself. It's okay if you don't have all 10, but it is better if you get as close to it as possible. Join us.
That's good.
Dark side. The commander is asking if more people are as necromancer. Need a boon version of thick thighs save lives. Let's see if we can come up with that. Something with uptime, maybe.
Commander, you're needed
I
at
don't
the
know.
Jade Quarry base
I couldn't.
now. Suvan arrived right on time.
Let's get back up. Okay, I'm going to do a thing here. If you don't have a recharging teleport to friend, don't worry about it. Just get up there any other way. But now that I have a recharging teleporter to friend, just convenience. I don't have to walk anywhere. I can just poof. Go. There will oftentimes be people putting out banners, putting out stuff. If you can, well,
What in the world are you talking
yeah, in a second here, the commander will be sorting us out into groups. He'll make 10 of them. You can see us slowly getting out here.
Go forth, my minion.
And after that, he'll assign a couple of groups to each lane, because this event's first part is that one squad has to go this way over and down and kill a dragon down here. One squad has to go this way over and down and kill a dragon over here. And one squad has to go down directly in the middle and kill a dragon over here. So what the commander will usually do is go like 1, 2, 3 groups, 1, 2, 3 go this way, groups 4, 5, 6 goes this way, groups 7 to 10 goes this way, and then splits off to the other two because this one finishes faster. It is an advantage to be in the squads that get sent here, because there's like 2 more events happening here than there are in the sides. It happens a little quicker. You get things done a little quicker. The commander hasn't sorted us though. So I'm just going to do what I think a lot of people are going to do here. We're going to be following Keith, because there's a slight advantage in how many stacks you get, and especially when you're behind on the stacks. That is nice.
Not exactly great escort numbers here. Better prep would have been good.
But yeah, this part of the meta is just getting these people where they need to go. Once we've gotten them where they need to go, there's going to be some spawns, and they're spawning here and here and here and here. And then when you finish those 4 rifts, there'll be another spawn here. We'll do some stuff with Aurene here, and then we'll actually fight the boss. And the entire thing here is that the boss is difficult. The parts up to the boss isn't really difficult. But yeah, make sure you have everything ready when you face the boss. Especially the Jade Tick offensive. Having plus 150 power and condition damage. Very nice. Very nice little boost. When everyone has that, that's just a little bit extra damage. I don't actually know how much I have total, so I can't really say how much of a buff that is. But I'm a condition damage build. I have 20... It mixes around. But like, let's say those 2200. Something like that. I have boons and buffs coming off and going on. That's the might stacks and stuff like that. But let's say 2000. Then if you get another 150, that's like 5%, something like that. 6-7% maybe even extra condition damage, or extra power if you're a power type. So getting those extra numbers, it matters. It matters. If you could have a buff that just said, deal 5% more damage, would you take it? Of course you would. It's less important. It's less important to take the defensive one. Where is that on my bar? There we go. The defensive one with toughness and vitality, less important, especially if you aren't like the most... I say that and I die because I'm not looking where I'm going, but it is truly not as important as long as you know the mechanics and actually follow the mechanics. Talking to myself here. But yeah, grab it. It's easy to grab. They are everywhere, those protocol things.
Secure. You all performed well, but our toughest battle
So
lies ahead.
that's again it. Like we finished up getting Keith in place, so now we are splitting out to the sides. And we're lucky we did it even faster than usual, probably because the commander didn't order us to go to specific sides in time, which meant we actually got to do this dragon as well. You don't always. Sometimes these groups, especially when the commander actually orders the squads to split out, then sometimes these groups will be more... They will likely be down here by the time you catch them. And that's, you know, one less contributor thing to get. Ah, wait, it didn't go up.
You could become one of us.
I think they might have nerfed that to remove that incentive. I hope that's true, because it is an interesting incentive to have to do less well for the general meta in order for you specifically to get a bigger bonus. But
Commander, it's too bad
yeah.
we didn't prepare people earlier. We might have had more backup.
Doo-ba-doo.
Look, it's the old temple to the fallen.
Ah,
Hey, you okay there,
no.
friend?
We're under attack, but I managed to get away unscathed.
Unscathed? You've got a knife in your back.
Okay, we better get in there and save the others.
Fun little interaction. I got away unscathed. No, you didn't. You've been stabbed, my man, my dude.
You know,
And he has.
the one with the knife in his back.
But yeah, you can easily, as I mentioned, 10% damage makes a difference. You can easily call me out on how much I'm taking a given encounter seriously by how attentive I am to this buff going down. Am I actually making sure to go in and out of the Shroud mode as the buff is close to running out? Or am I just, you know, chilling in Shroud, which guarantees I'm giving enough quickness at all times to everyone who ever wanted it, but again makes my damage output lower. And usually, unless it's a strike boss or something like that, I will just chill in Shroud as much as possible, because that just gives a lot more quickness to a lot of people. So in big groups like this, quickness will prioritize my own group, my own subgroup. So in this case, group 3. But oh, my inventory is full. Ooh, I've also been doing a lot of things today without really like selling and stuff. Guess I should organize my inventory a little while we're fighting this Oni.
Help? I don't have. I've beaten me, but you don't know it yet.
You're good.
Back on my feet.
Okay, let's keep moving towards your base.
Inventory sorting. Do 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 do.
Look! Enemies! I'll handle them, boss. Don't ignore them. We need to keep moving south to our old base.
Strong. Sometimes I set something up like I see 2 are available at 3 and I had 19 extra copper. Like, sign me up. 19 extra copper. 90 extra copper. But like, does it make a difference in the end? Probably not. But it just feels good to be like, yeah, I don't need those copper right now, so I can allow myself to wait on cashing that in.
Look, the Salt Spray Dragon seems to be powered by those crystals.
That looks
Maybe we
valuable.
can, you know, reason with it. Hello, friend. I know you're having a real bad day. Nope, some dragons aren't good listeners.
We'll need siege weaponry to break through those shields and destroy the crystals.
Okay, let's start by clearing a path to get the equipment through.
Do 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 do. It's a little weird. I figured that if I wanted to be streaming, I should be streaming to both Twitch and YouTube, just because with programs like Restream, I can just do it. So I decided to get access to Restream and do it. But Restream also like entangles my chats so that I can see both what's happening at YouTube and at Twitch in the same window. But it doesn't actually show me the amount of viewers on YouTube. It only shows me the viewer count on Twitch, which is weird to me because I feel like it should be able to just as easily tell me what the viewer count on YouTube is. I also noticed that in like at like the end. Whoop. I'm still trying to kill this shit. Go. I also noticed that at like the end of the previous week's streams that it doesn't really show viewer amount or view time on YouTube on the back end, but it does show everything about Twitch. I don't know if that's like a thing that I have to, you know, make happen. I have to show, allow it to show, but I have given it, I've permitted it access to my full profile. I think that's the way to say it. So it's a little weird. Wow. Usually what happens here is that someone will stay behind and actually kill these things while the siege turtle people move on. I guess we just had no one who stayed behind to actually solve the thing that, like, the siege turtles are we need the siege turtles to break the shields, and then we need people to kill the creatures. Hold on, I have something stuck in my throat. I'm just gonna mute myself for just a second. Okay, sorry about that. But yeah, in this part of the event, not really much for the commander to do. There isn't really anything important to happen here. Each team just like follows the quest line, so to speak, and kills the champions as they get to them.
It's dead. We should celebrate.
Nice
This is
gear.
far from over.
Yeah, but getting our base back.
I don't think we'll make it over there. So we're just going to get ready for the next phase of this,
You've got supplies, and it's in range of the harvest.
which is that all of these places.
Hey, how's everyone else doing out there?
All of these places will begin to spawn. And when I say these places, I mean this is the Mordrum incursion. Up here we have the Destroyer incursion. Then we have the Ice Brood incursion. And then down here we have the Saitan, the Risen incursion. There's a Crystal incursion here, branded. But that doesn't activate until these 4 events have been done. If you're quick, you can sometimes
Beaker camp is secure.
do one of the incursions before the others get done, and you know,
We've cleared the
have that
observatory.
advantage.
Orion's here, and we can see the Harvest Temple.
I'm going to focus my
But,
prismatic energy at the barrier protecting Su
yeah.
Wong.
Hold up! We've got void popping up all around us.
Same here. It's like they're creating a blockade between all of us and the Harvest Temple.
Careful. It's corrupted Elder Dragon magic that's been combined.
Do,
We
do,
don't
do,
know
do,
its
do.
power. Champion,
There
as
we
you
go.
cleanse the previous outbreaks, I felt the magic as it was released.
Good.
Maybe I could absorb it from these
So,
void
as we kill these, they spawn. Some of them spawn corrupted void magic. We don't want the corrupted void magic, that just hurts us.
A good question.
But some of them will spawn purified void magic, and we want to go around and pick that up. Purified void magic here, here, here. You can see the void containment level
Release the
goes
Elder
up
Dragon magic.
every time we pick up some of the purified stuff.
Excellent. The void is focusing its energy.
And
Attack
then a boss spawns, and we kill the boss.
I've collected all of the Mordremoth magic.
Let's see if we get to the branded one in time. We probably won't, but we will try. It is close. Can I just... No! No! Hit it! Hit it! Hit it with something! I hit it! Ha! Got it.
Missing an element.
Got it.
Too much treasure.
Grandfather, it's another
Feels
void
good.
outbreak.
Proctoric. That's the element you need. Everyone, focus on the void.
There is only void, and a dwindling time before you join us.
And now... Yeah, as I said, the branded one spawns up here.
And all will return to it.
Suwan, can you hear me?
She is one with us.
Set him up for the kill.
Follow my voice. Reach out.
Same as all the other 4.
Release Crowd's corrupt magic, and I will shatter the barrier protecting Suwan.
Are you here?
To release you from
Don't you realize this barrier, it's protecting you from...
Oreen is ready. Rally at the
You.
observatory. Protect her as she blasts through the barrier.
So this is another one where we have to split out evenly. There will be 5 like small groups of things 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And they will all be making corrupt magic of one sort or another. And then we will have some groups standing down here killing the mobs and then throwing up the magic to someone standing ready here so that they can throw it in. The energy has to finish at the same time, which means we have to actually do this and get it up there. Like, if one of them gets a hit and it's the one you're at, like, leave that place. Just go to one of the others that still lack help.
See what state they were in.
I can also see that the commander did the next thing. I would, as commander, also here assign like 1, 2 go here, 3, 4 go here, 5, 6 go here, 7, 8 go here, 9, 10 go here. 1 from each group go to the, just stay in the middle. Something like that. But this commander hasn't done that. However, they have prepared in the squad message the next step. When we're fighting Su 1, there will be some places. Here we go. And toss it. There we go. When we fight Su 1, there will be some
refreshing.
There we go. There will be some mechanical spots where she like sends us out and we have to go kill some side bosses. And those side bosses. Ah, nice. I just got distracted by the magic. Those side bosses will be, first there will be 2 of them, and then there will be 3 of them, and they have to die at the same time. That's a standard mechanic Guild Wars uses a lot. So, I think this is Risen, isn't it? Is this Risen? Hey you, can you die? No, this is Mortrim. We're just not very good at getting it up there. I'm just looking at the scales and seeing that Mortrim is the one that's the furthest behind. So we need to get better at getting our magic up there. There's no one standing and receiving our magic. That definitely doesn't help. The magic is just lying there. Okay, some people were walking up there now. I was just like, maybe I should be the one walking up there because nobody else seemed to be doing that. Anyways, those bosses, you want the groups to split out evenly, and that's part of the commander's job is to just like assign some groups. In this case, the commander said that 2 to 5 goes west and 6 to 10 goes east. They probably meant 1 to 5 goes west because, you know, half split. And then when 3, they'll probably say 1, 2, 3 go east, 4, 5, 6 go west, 7, 8, 9 go, I think it's south, that's the last one. And then group 10 split as evenly as you can, basically. We don't need any more Mordrim. We are probably good on everything. I don't think I will be making a difference anywhere I go here. I think Branded are over here.
Done and done.
But that's fine. We got it.
We're finished.
So many. I brought some friends.
And here's the thing. Now it's time for the final boss. Now it's time for what this meta is actually about. Fighting Su 1. The difficult part. The part that we might actually lose, because sometimes groups just lose this part. It happens. Normally you'd have to wait till people like get this destroyed. You can interact with the Jade thing here, even though it's not destroyed. One of those things again where,
on my count, 3,
why hasn't this either been just fixed so that you can't, or fixed so that it's not in the middle of a ruined thing? Su 1 will have a very important ability. A very important break bar, I mean. Always get the electromagnetic pulse if you can. in any way, shape, or form,
From herself.
getting that is so very, very, very important.
Quick! To the top of the Harvest Temple.
Yeah.
I'll be waiting for you with what's left of Suan.
Armored up.
People will be spamming it in chat once it's time to use it.
Be ready.
So, you know, if you just look at people talking, someone will be going like, electromagnetic pulse! Electromagnetic pulse! Do it! So that's probably, if you want to be optimal, that's one of the most important masteries to get from Iceroot Saga. It's the way station synchronization. The electromagnetic pulse is just the first one. You get an upgraded version if you complete all of it. I wanted the chests that come at the end, which you get increased loot from the strike missions from these three, so I wanted them the most. Dragon Slayer, I think it's because Shining Champion gives you more of those. It gives you rewards, basically.
A landscape of shattered dreams.
Waiting for this to happen so that I can.
You will obey.
And all due to me.
Fight. I'm pressing tab to wait until the game auto-targets her, because that's when I know that she is ready to be actually targeted.
She's luring the void toward the temple, and if I don't stop it, you'll all be encased.
This is important. Don't fall for this like about half our group did. Usually it is about half the group that dies at that very first one. It's very easy to avoid. Just, you know it's coming and then dodge it. At this point, there isn't a lot more for the commander to do. You've done all you can as a commander here. You've prepared people. You've told them to get their stuff. You've put them out into 10 different groups, where as many as possible have the full, like,
You must join us. Quick, stand around the impact site.
Whoop.
I'll protect you.
Where as many as possible of them have the buffs and the alacrity and quickness and stuff like that. Oh, great, I get to show this off. So,
You are not dead.
as a wisp, you are looking to get back up to the top.
Senses heightened.
And I messed up big time here. You're looking to get back up to the top. Every time you pop into a memory, you get your jumpy jumps back. So you're trying to hit these memories. Whoop. Jumpy jump. Jumpy jump. Jumpy jump. Let's see if I can hit this one.
Hurry. Your frozen forms are fragile. And
that
someone
one?
knows this. If destroyed, you will die.
And when you get back on the platform, you can do this. You get back into your body, and you get this huge soul reunited. You are rejoined with your body and feel a sense of renewed determination. Outgoing damage increased. I think the damage increases by something like 50%. It's a lot. It is a lot. So it is very important. There will be a phase more of this where there will be 3 of these circles. And filling out all of those circles aren't just a defense against this wave here, where people outside the circle, a finished circle, will die. It is also a way to get a lot more damage against Su 1 for as many people as possible. Yeah, so
There is an
ocean of void.
Whoop.
And you
And
are
jump it.
already drowning.
So there's two things to that. First of all, don't stand in the slam itself. Then second, you know, jump when she jump over the wave that it generates. So get out of the way, then jump back in. Oh god, I lost this because I forgot that you lose that when it happens. Oh, people got it. I forgot that becoming a wisp loses the electromagnetic pulse. Whoopsie. That's on me. Good thing that other people are better than me and that we still got it. So this phase is the same as the like the rupture things. There's purified magic from things that we kill. We pick it up. When we get enough of them, we get this special ability that throws a spear and breaks Su 1. When we break her, she will ask us to leave the platform, basically. I'm in 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3 were... I'm scrolling up. West. So I'm going west.
Everything you do, we will always have an answer for it. She's channeling Void. Destroy them before it's too late. I will go after her.
CC all that we can. I think we've basically lost our electromagnetic pulse again because this overrides it. That's fine. But yeah, so it's important to have the even split here, because these two have to die at the same time. Which also means that if you're a DPS and you're doing this event, and you are right now in Death and Shadow 1, you might want to just move over, because the group over here in Void and Mine isn't doing as well as your group. So getting that... Ooh. I'm getting more butts. How nice. I'm going to delete that comment once I have a break from this, but I am going to wait until we're finished with Su 1, because it takes precedence. Good. We got both of them at the same time. We're trying to get back to Su 1 as quickly as possible here, so we can deal as much damage as possible.
The end is the beginning.
She has two attacks that looks like that, event-wise. There's this one, she stays here, and she will spawn a wave. And in the other one is the one we just dodged. And you can know the difference because she's moving around the platform right now. If she's moving around the platform, she will run over and go to the other side. If she stays still while that thing happens... Ooh, boop. There we go. If she stands still while that happens, that means that she is going to be, you know, standing still. Yeah, that wasn't the best explanation, but... Oh, we have to break her again. And I forgot to click this as quickly as possible. Get as much breaking in as possible, because we want to get her. We got her. Remember, this gives exposed. It just says takes additional damage. People that are exposed take double damage. So we have the next 17 seconds counts as if they're like 40 seconds. Oh, right, she didn't move around. I should have looked better, but yeah, that means that right now we're dealing a lot of damage to her. And that is important, because this fight is difficult. She's going to be crystallizing now.
Quick, stand around the impact site. I'll protect you.
So no one is here. I'll be the one that's there. Again, as many people as possible, because we want that extra damage buff from getting up again.
You are not dead.
Got the target.
Disembodied, with senses heightened.
And I'm focusing a little bit because I messed it up the first time I did this. Not a big mess up, I still made it in time, but like... I find this... It's not a difficult thing, but you do have to like constantly be on the lookout of like, where's my next wandering memory? And am I high enough up to... Do I have enough jumps left to reach it? Or should I, you know, be less... what's that called? Like... ambitious. Be less ambitious. Because, yeah, you can see Soul Reunited, I have outgoing damage increased, and I do believe that that's actually a lot of damage. I think that's actually a 50% damage boost. The 100% damage boost is when she's broken. But, like, when this many crystals, that means that we're like half the raid, half the squad, getting like 1.5 damage against her for, I mean, only the next like 20 seconds or so, but still, that's a lot of damage that you can deal extra. Yes, I'm Danish. Yes, I am indeed Danish. You recognize it by the way I say right? My thinking sounds. Does that have a word in English? I don't actually know if that has a word in English. But you are right, you are right. I don't say I say which is a dead giveaway. And then I'm fairly certain I also speak like I have a potato in my mouth, which is generally how people describe Danish, right? We have a potato in our mouth while we speak. Yeah. Are you Danish too? Or are you just someone who recognizes the Danish accent from somewhere? Again, she began moving around the platform, so I'm going to the other side to meet her over here. Alright, and I should get a new electromagnetical pulse, because she will probably have a break bar more before we're done with her. Honestly, that's probably wasted. I just realized that she's almost at those 25% where she's going to, or 20% whenever it is. Ready check. Where she's going to go into the next of this phase. Okay, we just got the squad message from the commander saying 2 to 4 goes west, 5 to 7 goes east, and 8 to 10 goes middle bot. And then I'm assuming that they want one to split between them. And I am in group 3, so I am going west. You recognized it. Nice. So I'm going in this direction, and I believe it's the more it. I still want the jumpy jump. So we have the northwestern, the northeastern, and then we have the southern platform. And I was asked to go northwest.
Fight it! It's me, Maureen! Look out!
It is also pretty recognizable, the Danish accent I hear. A lot of us think that we have no accent because our accent is so flat that it just kind of, to us, sounds like, you know, very, very standard speech. But the Danish accent is, well, it's being flat and being a little bit with the sounds. Which is, yeah. It's something, isn't it? It's something. Have you done the, this, like the return to event yet?
Reach deep inside, and you will feel the emptiness.
And did you pick that name just to make streamers say a weird string of letters? Or why? Why did you end up with a string of letters instead of a phonetically recognizable word or something? We have to stop here. Crystal and Fury. Oh, I should click that. Ugh. Is this one Crystal and Fury?
If we stand together.
Yes, that's Crystal and Fury.
Deep inside,
Go for that one.
feel the emptiness of the growing.
This time our group was ahead, so we had to get to the other one.
There is only void.
We got them in time. Very
There is
nice.
only. I can feel it loosen. The void will never stay clear of her mouth.
Yep.
Your desires are but a mirage.
Oh, the
Behind them lurks open.
the United Legion's way station over here has despawned.
Look out! They're stuck. Help them now.
Can I please get target to one? There we go. Thank you. Why can't I move here? Thank you.
Watch her mouth.
There's a lot of creatures up here, which means we're taking a lot of damage. And yeah, here's the break bar. Can I get the pulse? Just press it as fast as possible. Wasn't enough, but like I did my part as much as I could, even though I was a little late.
Tortures me to say this, but hit her. They're
That
stuck.
happens sometimes.
Help them now, or she'll get the upper hand.
Do.
Quick, free them from those bubbles.
Some people would also say, I mean, we have 5 minutes left, so we've been doing very well this entire fight, but right now we should conceivably be considering dealing some damage to like the to all of the mobs around instead of just to Su 1. Because by doing it just to Su 1, that means that we're being pretty vulnerable, pretty open against like all of the mobs. You could see all of the circles here on the ground. They are made by mobs throwing stuff at us, and that's kind of bad. Like we should not be allowing that much damage to go through. That looks like she's moving through here.
The bubbles before they get too high. She's stirring up her back.
Go.
Look out!
Again, we do have a lot of time remaining though. The people have been doing very well, both on the bosses and on the damage in general, and that's why you split out like this. Because you want to have as much leftover time as possible. 3.5 minutes left. When I filmed the video on the Return to End of Dragons, the first one I did of these was a little bit more improvised. It was a little bit more... We were all just kind of joining. And that meant that we didn't actually make it. This is very failable. When this came out, when End of Dragons came out and you could do this boss for the first time, the RNG of how often she moved across the map, that timing was enough to lose or win the encounter. That's how tight it was. So of course people hated when random people joined the map. People wanted to do this as if it was a raid, as if it was a static. Because just having a couple of people who didn't know exactly what they were doing was enough to lose this entire map. And she got nerfed like 10 plus times. And 3 or 4 of those times were big nerfs to her. And she's still one of the bosses that you can lose to. You can see I am losing my my Dragon's End. Oop. God damn it, people throwing things on top of these. My Dragon's End contributor, as I'm opening this will be the last chest I can open. When it opens. There we go. because now I have no more contributor, so I can't open these. And I automatically pick the middle chest up because of my Tyrian Commander Mastery, which is nice.
You can never have too much treasure.
She does give good loot though. Like this was a lucky drop, an ascended piece. But yeah, she gives good loot in general. These 15 memories of Aurene, worth a lot, and you need them to make the End of Dragons legendary weapons. Which means if you ever want to make those, and I love them. I love the End of Dragons weapons. Like by standard, they are all shiny and Aurene-like, but you can also create skins for them. So I'm using 3 of them in this build here. I'm using offhand dagger for both my weapon combinations, but then I'm using scepter and pistol, and they look great. They look amazing. So these are legendary weapons that I do recommend as a way to as something to farm, and doing her and doing Dragonstorm are the primary ways of getting that. Also, first time you do this a week, you get these statuettes, which you can either use to unlock the vendor in Saitung Province over here. There's a vendor here that you can use Imperial Favors and writs, research writs, I think they're called, onto research notes to purchase, not ascended, but exotic Berserker's gear, and those sell very well on the trading post as well. You get a lot here. The antique summoning stones is about 2 gold as well. The writs of Dragon's End, I think they are actually more, worth even more than that, because of the transference through that, but I think I'm just gonna pick the antique summoning stone here. Yeah.
You can never have too much treasure.
Because I feel like maybe I'm going to craft another Aurene Legendary, and I'll have to begin gathering these up and gathering memories and stuff like that, which are all stuffs that you can also just sell. And you can see my scavenger bags, because I have the Jadebot upgrade. Jadebot, the scavenger protocol magic trophies. Once every minute this becomes active. That means at most this can trigger every minute, but it can take a little while to trigger, but about every minute, if you're fighting monsters constantly, a monster will drop an extra scavenger bag magic trophies, which just like in general, these have a value of like 1 silver 50. Some of them, you know, have less, some of them have more. You can see this one 3 silver 50, and that one only like 90 gold. On average 1 silver 50. It costs about 10 gold to buy one of these from the trading post, and that means 6.5 hours or 375 pops, 375 minutes of this. And then it's paid off, and you just get extra gold forever. And you know what I love? I love forever gold. Forever gold is great. Salvage that. Oop. I think we will do a little more before I go off. So the question is, should we do more strikes or should we do the fractal rotation? Let's just look at the daily fractals. Recommended Siren's Reef. Yeah. Lonely Tower. Cliffside. Yeah, it's not. It's fine. It's a decent rotation. That's not really good, not really bad. We might do the strike one. We might do it. What I was looking for, basically, just to make sure that that's out there. What I was looking for was whether or not the, I think it's 71, which is also like 87, something like that. The fractal that's like Scarlet's Plague Tower thing. I was checking whether that was up, because that, I'm just gonna go show you. that one has the easiest challenge mode out of all the strikes. And so when that's up for a daily anyways, that's extra, basically free money. And a little bit of UFE, or unstable fractal essence, I think they're called. Which is basically the kill proof for fractals. And some groups require a lot of that to be able to join. They want like 5, 10, or 15,000 unidentified fractal essence, and you get like 40 for completing a fractal. It's I'm thinking of Nightmare 96, the Nightmare fractal. I think this. I think it's because Lonely Tower is new-ish, so they might have moved it around. I think. Have I ever done Lonely Tower? If I haven't, I probably should. I probably should. Yeah, let's just do it. Let's just do it. We're going to do fractals now. If anyone wants to join the fractal run, you can write your character name in the chat, and I will invite you to the group. Otherwise, I will... Oh, I always try to censor that a little bit. I don't think it's a big deal to see my friend list, but it is one of those things where, you know, they didn't ask for me to stream and to show their character names on... So, I generally avoid doing it. But yeah, I'm just gonna put up a strike group. Not a strike group, sorry, a fractal group. Master scale. See, 23,000 unidentified fractal essence. It's too much. It's too much. It's too much. I'm going to call this basically T4 plus Rex. 1A heal. Then we're just gonna go in. And wait for people to join. Because we can always do there's a little jumping puzzle in here that you can do while you wait for people. Decipher this, long story, yes. Experiment means that I jump highly now. Or jump high, not highly. But there's a jumping puzzle over here. Yep. You can cheese it when you can jump high. Welcome. I have to... Yeah, almost got it. Almost got it. There's a nice little... I used to do this often enough to where I could just do it. And then I jump over here. You have to have quickness to make this jump, but I can give myself quickness. And you just jump over here. And now you are through most of the jumping puzzle. Most of the difficult stuff happens while you like have to scale over here and scale up there and do all kinds of stuff over there. But we skip that part. And we almost skipped that part as well. Feels good. Yep. That's the jumping puzzle for you. Boop. It doesn't reward a lot, but it's something to do while you're waiting for a group to form for the fractal run. Anyways. And of course, I have infinite potions, so I use them. Honestly, unless you're doing challenge modes, I wouldn't use them if you don't have infinite potions yet. Just sell them. All of your potions that you get, keep one large of each around for if you're doing challenge modes. But if you're not doing challenge modes, just sell them to this guy, get the fractal relics, get enough fractal relics that you can... I don't remember which vendor it is. I think, yeah, this guy. Get enough fractal relics that you can buy the infinite versions from this guy. And then from there on out, you will not waste relics on potions. You will just have them. And you will not have wasted relics on potions for where they aren't really necessary. They are necessary / important. They do make a big difference when you're doing challenge modes in general, but they don't do a big difference when you're just chilling around in the normal mode fractals. Oh right, I forgot to sell. I had a lot of stuff that were filling up my bags. Get that out of here. Oh, I wanted to reinforce armor as well. Yeah, welcome. Smiley face. We're just going to put this down here again. We're going to go back into the strikey strike and say we just need DPS. There we go. Right. Can do a bit more inventory management while we wait. Yeah. We'll just go. I'm excited to see if I've actually done Lonely Tower before. Oh, right. I should also get in here into my own stream. So that I can remove this message. There we go.
The ones that killed us.
No spam messages, please.
Lord, with us. Doctor, come.
We.
I don't have enough energy.
I should be moving with my group. But I wasn't. But yeah, I haven't done this fractal before. That's interesting. I didn't actually realize they'd made a new one. I guess it just hasn't been hundreds. This hasn't been the daily one of the few times I've done /GG. One of the few times I've actually done these. So, since Wizards.
You all made it. Good. Stay close. Eyes up.
There's an Astral Purifier node in there.
Live, partner. Live.
Ready for action.
Yep.
Refreshing.
Whenever you're ready.
I can remove you by doing so. Ooh. Wow, it's actually Ceres, and he's actually acting like Ceres, summoning these, doing that AoE thing, putting those things on the ground. Huh. Fun. Let's just give Ceres these.
Help me, please. You can't keep a good man at first. Brent, protect me.
Too far out of the way.
Not enough energy.
Ooh.
Refreshing. Strong.
Okay, you can have those back, please. Oof. Yeah, that happens sometimes. But interesting. So, I guess the pro move for Deimos is to... Well, this one I don't really care about because I can give him those stacks of vulnerability back. But when he does the thing where he, like, makes shadows... Let's see if I can get a good... I can't really... That pillar is in my way. I can't really get a good view of the fight from here. Something like this. When he... Come on, do it. You know you want to. Yeah, when he does this thing, I guess the pro move is to get out of the way completely. I mean, he stays in now. But it dealt enough damage to... Well, at least kill me. I don't know if it killed everyone, but... Oh. Oh well. Was it healer or a DPS that left?
This place does not belong to you. Tyria belongs to no one. It's how the selfish deities prefer to.
Nice gear.
You refuse to harness its power, but you can feel it. I know you can. Discard.
And let's... Sorry, I didn't remember you had the roll. Ooh, these look cool. That's a nice way to do, like, breaks in reality. Very nice. Do love me some good visuals. Do.
Life, let my creation live.
Eat my dust.
Kill shot. Come on. We need to expel them from this plane.
3 and dodge. That's one of those things that in Guild Wars 2 you can always count on. When a boss does something like that, it is a 3 times pulse and then you dodge. If he somehow does it... If he somehow does it more or less than 3 times, then they are choosing to do that. Choosing to do that to you. Because, yeah. It's one of those things where 1, 2, 3... I didn't dodge in time. But you can count out those and you can go... You can be very certain that if you... No matter whether you've actually done this boss before or not... no matter whether you've done this boss before or not, you will be able to time it if you're just not a mook like me. 2, 3, I mean, I should just begin dodging on 3. I want to make sure... I'm doing the thing that I'm always telling people not to do. You should not try to, you know, make sure that the... You should not try to make sure that the dodge... Because your dodge roll has a pretty long, like, invulnerability thing. It has a pretty long... Got it. What does that do? Improved effects for boons and conditions. Take more damage from conditions. Stack infinitely. Okay. Whoopsie. This time I just dodged it with an ability. So what does Gluttony do? Your attacks deal bonus life-stealing damage, but you take periodic damage. Stacks intensity. Okay. So when you have this, you have to keep attacking a lot. 2, 3... I recognize that the group left. I'm just trying to... I will find another group, so the only question here is... am I gonna be a burden to the next group? And if I don't want to be a burden to the next group, then I should, as much as possible, be looking into, like, the mechanics. There we go. Going to find a new group here. Fractals of the Mists. Big ones. We go T4 plus Rex, A heal, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3 pure DPS. There we go. Oh well. Again, understandable. We didn't do very well against Eparch, not Iskaran, Eparch. Just remember who the bad guy is. I think, honestly, Iskaran is probably more of a bad guy than Eparch is. Well, not more of a bad guy, but Iskaran is such an overbearing asshole. Just totally... really annoying, basically. Olga grabbed a heal. The rest cool with pure DPS. Make sure people are cool with the rolls. New group, new positivity. Woo! Always start high. We had a bit of an oopsie on Epoch and the group split. Basically about people not splitting the glob pickups. I mean, garnish is the healing power. Don't need that. Power. I guess power is okay. So, yeah. The blobs. We should be fine. Right. There we go. I can grab a little bit of despair. I only got one of them, but you know. See, this is what I mean. Also with like not being too worried about if other people... You saw me previously in this stream. People make mistakes. It happens. In things like the... what's that called? The challenge mode of Cosmic Observatory, and it's fine. it's just fine. People will learn, just like I learned from the last one we did on Epoch just here, and it takes a little longer when people do stuff like this, but yeah. I forgot to actually do the jumpy jump. Whoopsie. There's Gluttony out here. Yeah. Nom nom. 3, and then I in. There we go. I don't actually have a lot of CC here, but it looks like the rest of the group managed to pull through. Which is very nice to see indeed.
May the sand
Damn it. Timing of that. Not optimal. There are globules over there. That's fine. There are globules over here. That's someone else grabbed those. That's fine. I see that we're doing way better on the globule game here with this group than we were with the last group. It seems that if you don't pick up the globules, he gets them instead, and he gets positive effects from them more than he gets negative effects from them. So we definitely don't want him to have them. And so we are making sure that it is us who gets them instead of him. There we go. What does Rage do? Incoming and outgoing damage. So take more damage, deal more damage. Makes sense. Globules. See? It took 2 tries. It took 2 tries to take down Epoch, and I had never seen this instance before. And the... Will find yourself out. that's kind of funny. And I'd never seen this boss before, and I had to find an entirely new group to do the second try, because people go so quickly. They go like, oh no, we didn't do it on the very, very first, everything is, it's fine. It is fine. You can try again. It takes 3 minutes. It's basically nothing. Boop. Waiting for the rest of the group.
My dust.
Do. Just gonna wait here until that spawns on top of me. And I was going to do that to avoid the other people having to walk through it, but they took a little bit of time and they had to walk through it anyways. I can pick up the hammer, I can smack a few cultists. And I can hit this. I said I can hit this. There we go.
Bring this one down.
To leave the hammer here for another person to pick up. I'm going to move out of the way to make sure this is placed in as convenient a place as possible. Jump. Oh. You can go past 2 hits basically every time they blow. 1, 2.
Skyhammer calibrated to red. Test subjects may experience dizziness, confusion, and death.
I already have that, I think. Right? Yes. Rigorous certainty. Doo-ba-doo-ba-doo. One more, I think. Then I have to get that hammer down. You can't reach, I think it's 30 stacks of hammer corruption. So you have to be as careful as possible about keeping that down. But again, just like with strikes, the most difficult thing about many of these fractals is doing 75 fractals to get to this point, because so few groups are willing to actually do that. Go. Because you can't just search for 75 plus fractals from the get-go. Even if you craft all of your ascended gear and fill it up with enough agony resistance, 150 agony resistance, then you can't just jump straight into the 75 to 100 category. You have to have done 25 fractals that were at least of the fractal level you've reached. So it's one of those. Oh. It's one of those things you have to do a lot to get to this point, even though as long as you have the agony resistance and just know generally what each fractal is about, they're not that hard. It's not difficult to do fractals. It is mostly just about the agony resistance and having enough of that. So what I'm trying to say is that cultist hammer. Oh, somebody else picked that up. And we are over here. Love having Mesmers, that's nice. What I'm trying to say is that, you know, you shouldn't be worried about beginning to do fractals. They're going to break that seal and then they're going to have to come back over here.
Skyhammer calibrated to red. Test subjects may experience
Let's see if we can
confusion.
prepare these guys without killing them completely. There's the hammer bro, so we should get that seal broken now. Right? Yep. This is a part where you generally GG because you are being teleported closer to the next point of in the dungeon. So it's a little bit like would I say it's necessarily necessary? No, but it is, you know, it's a little optimization that you can do. It's a little optimization. And small optimizations are nice. But yeah, you can see that how little fractals actually, how little difficulty they actually have. There are a couple of exceptions, but most of them are like this. Like, even though I am talking to you more than I'm actually doing this fractal, we're doing it, right? We're finishing the fractal. And it's not that, it's not, how do I say this? If I did more, the group would have to do the less, but it's not that I'm being carried or anything. Like, I'm doing fine, my part. Picking up the hammer, doing the hammer stuff, giving quickness. It's fine, it's just one of those things where it just isn't really difficult. Trying to break him here. Nice. We have to pick up the hammer, kill a cultist, then use the hammer to break that seal, and then we can go back on the diviner. And as you can see, he melts. This is also a decent group. It's not to underestimate how nice this group is. This is a group of people who clearly know the fractal. They've been here before, so to speak. I can pick up the hammer and do a cultist then.
Bring this one down. Barry, now.
And then press 4 here. He steals the hammer back. Oop. I have to make sure not to be quite on top of the group with that. But yeah, he has a couple of things that can be kind of dangerous / annoying. It's especially he can, if you stand on top of one of his big like grab moves, that one, it will put you in one of these prisons and you will take continuous damage and you'll have to break out. But if you just don't stand in it, you know, then it's fine. Just have to do one last cultist hammer here.
That looks valuable. That's how it's done.
And then he gets, I don't know, stolen away by the giant or something like that. There's also an achievement you can get at the end of this fractal. If you, I think it's bow before the giant, because the giant is going to bow before you. So there's a little bit of like mutual respect with the giant you can do. Siren's Reef isn't exactly my favorite fractal, but it's fine. But yeah, this doing fractals doesn't even require the command attack. Just putting that out there. If you're thinking about starting with fractals, fractals is one of the most, doing the T4 plus Rex daily rotation thing, one of the most efficient ways of earning gold for your time in the entire game. I'll make a video on that. It should be out next week. It's like so good. Doing it is worthwhile, and you don't have to be a commander. You don't have to pay those 300 gold, but you do have to get yourself about 90 golds worth of agony infusions. Plus 9 agony infusions on everything gives you 151 any resistance, which is what you want. Yeah. I can feel that my energy is slowly slipping. So once we're done with all the fractals, I'm going to pop off for the day, but yeah. It was a lot more... It was a lot easier to find interesting things to say at the beginning of the stream. So this boss, one person should stay up here and stay on the cannon, because what they are doing is they are clearing all of the ground stuff, all of the bombs that the boss is throwing down at the ground. The person standing on the cannon are clearing those so that we have somewhere to stand. That's why there should always be a person on the cannon itself at this boss fight. Other than that, as long as there's a person over there, the boss fight is easy. The next thing we're going to be facing here is a bit of a challenge. A lot of groups find this kind of difficult, which is there are 3 treasures in here, and we have to bring them all to the end, and as you move with the treasure it slows you down, and you don't want to toggle that, because, you know, then there's then the enemies spawn.
What if you tried sharing the pirate curse with all of your friends? Don't worry, the science is on your side. I took a correspondence course on X's spell.
Honestly, they're moving pretty fast for people who are carrying treasures. Fine, I'll go to the last treasure then. Grab that.
Looks like that door will only open for Arabella's crew.
I'll run a quick announcement.
Dodge roll back here so that I don't get targeted by these.
All the core signatures in that Sorry, I mean the pieces of cursed treasure. That should be enough curse magic in one place to fool the door into thinking you're one of Crow's.
There we go. That's it. Then we have to take the treasure, and we have to get the treasure onto the ship, which is, yeah, throwing from person to person is the most efficient way of doing that. Again, you get slowed a lot by carrying the treasure. Right there. So
oh, wait, none of you actually knows how to sail.
You should basically just keep throwing it. Like,
we'll cross that bridge later.
oh, no reason not to.
Eat my dust.
When we put it on here, they will spawn, I think it's treasures as well, on each side, one side at a time. You'll have to get people out to pick those things up. Have people on these cannons. That's just the easiest way to deal with the ghost pirates that spawn. Ghost pirates will get onto the ship. You need someone off the cannons to deal with that as it happens. And it's a classic example of something I actually like in this game, right? This boss has mechanics, and the boss after this boss has mechanics. Each of these bosses have some mechanics that the end boss, when we've defeated both of the others, will also have. So you're being taught the mechanics throughout the strike, and then the last boss combine all of those mechanics into one. Like, that's just really good game design. We are learning how to deal with it slowly, and then we get to finish it off at the end. I'm just targeting these marksmen because these marksmen are dangerous to me. But honestly, I should just be targeting these swashbucklers. Make sure that they can't do anything to our chesty boys. Chesty boys. Nice. So it gets put here. Next boss spawns.
Strong.
And again, he has some mechanics. The end boss will also have these mechanics. So we are learning them from dealing with First Mate Calyx here. And now we have to kill enough ghosts. And for this, like freeing up some people to stand on the cannons and just take out ghosts as they come in here from the sides. Probably the easiest way to do this, but you do need to like let people, you know, keep at it. Whoop. Because if ghosts get on board here, then you'll have to deal with them the old-fashioned way. Let's get some buffs going. Go. End boss, Captain Crow. You can see the mechanics stacking up here. That mechanic, we saw that before. We've seen the slash out mechanic before. We've seen this blow you off the ship mechanic before. We've seen new mechanic, I think, the shark one. Yeah. This group is doing it very well. This is definitely one of the bosses that some groups have a lot of difficulty with, because there's a lot of mechanics to keep track of at the same time. Getting blown off like that sucks a lot. There's a lot of damage going on out in the surf. But yeah, this group did it perfectly. Can recommend just doing the mechanics. Which is kind of a weird thing, but yeah. Have you considered just keeping your health above 0 while you reduce the boss's health to below 0? Yep, can't recommend. Can recommend, not. Yeah, slowly getting tired, as you can hear. And doing the Rex, it's also an important thing to do. They do give a lot of bonuses. A lot of good loot.
And who is that with you? A Norn boy and a female char?
Got it. Okay, don't follow too close. These things can stay hot.
Never have too much trailing together.
We can handle them. Spread out. I am
Control that. Nice, we got some Ascended Gloves and an Ascended Ring from random loot.
Stay alert.
Can't complain about that. I like just harvesting the Mithril ore during this. It feels like it doesn't take too long extra, and I mean, I get volatile magic every time I harvest something, so worth it.
Nice gear.
Yep. 3.
Watch out! You hit a pocket of... What is that? I am...
Mine, mine,
That'll do.
mine for the taking.
This must be a lair.
We actually have gotten 2 rings so far today. Very nice. Cool.
Local wildlife, heads up.
You are all weaklings!
Alright, and of course, there are these mist essence things that you use for crafting and you use for getting the... I think it's a back item that's legendary that you can also get from Fractals of the Mists ad infinitum.
Come on, Frostbite, let's go.
And some of them, you can see this one only goes from 51 to 100. So there's also one that goes from lower, and by doing a lot of the low-end fractals, by doing the recommended fractals that are below 50, you have a chance of just slowly farming those while you're still doing content that's, you know, very worth it.
Halt all movement. Experiment incoming. Test subjects may experience dizziness, confusion, and death.
Go.
I know him.
We're all here? We're all here. Good.
Back off! I'm working! New test subjects have arrived. They're hiding.
Hey, you'll pay for this.
It teems without wings, the vermin. As if that would save it. As if. Begin test now!
Armored up.
Now, this weapon I'm still testing.
Refreshing.
It works.
I just decided to trust her. Just go like, okay, since she said stack, I'm just gonna stack, even though we're standing on top of all the stuff. And I definitely don't regret that. We did very well there. That was a nice way to get rid of all of those mechanical suits. We're basically going to have to kill this thing in the middle that comes alive every so often. It only blows out in cones, which means that if you stand like here at the corners, it won't attack you. So, yeah. And then there are these tornadoes, so you know, don't stand in those. Yeah. Ow. Oop. Right, we have to kill the thermal core. You ruined everything.
Refreshing.
Then he comes out. He's invulnerable while we have to deal with these things. Then he becomes vulnerable. And he moves around, and you can see where he moves by... I was going to show you the rocks in the ground, but then I got a little late for it. We'll see it when he digs down again here. He is going to move. He's moving over here. He's going to move. Directly opposite of. It's one of those things where instead of running around like a headless chicken, it feels nice to just go wherever he's going. Yeah. Do 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 do. Chaos. Chaos! Do.
This fractal seems to incorporate energy signatures from multiple fractals.
Wait, where did you come from? No,
This is kind of a fun fractal. I like the fractal that just has a lot of call-outs to all the other fractals. Really good, really fun.
Charged diaphanous diffraction randomizer.
Which I will use if you continue to meddle in my affairs. I don't understand. These instability readings are all...
Oh, love that stealth. That's amazing. All of these golems have like abilities that can knock you off. So having stealth through most of that jumping puzzle just feels really, really good.
Someone already in there ahead of you?
Well, jumping puzzle may be a bit of an overstatement. Jumping section?
Energy jamming this frequency. There. No more outside help for you. Give up yet?
Armored up.
Go. And we have the cats from the the Raving Asura fractal. Miscellaneous, I think it's called. And then we have the Chaos Anomaly from the Thormanova reactor. And we are going to be moving a little bit back and forth between dealing with him and dealing with the cats. Every time the cats respawn, they spawn more aggressively, like there's a bigger, more dangerous cat than the last time, and it figures out which cats to spawn in the next wave based on which cats you killed first in the last one. So you can choose which cats you want. Not that it's like we're doing it on scale 30, it's not exactly, but you can see they were veteran before, they are elite now, and we're going to have a champion one here in a bit. And it should be Chopsy. Chopsy the cat. Spawning somewhere around here. Yeah. Chop Kid D. But yeah, it's the Choppy Chop cat. And then of course we have the Frozen Fractal and the Jade Maw Fractal. In the Frozen Fractal you have to light fires to fight an Ice Elemental. In the Jade Maw one you have to well, deal with tentacles.
Strong.
Do. And the ice wall melts. We can pass through.
I'm the one in control here.
You can see the background here is also the Molten Fractal, the furnace we were just in, the Etherblade Pirates, all that kind of stuff. We're not even going to finish him. Yeah. Again, we're down quite low on like the list of fractals at this point. So things die really quickly. But just wait until you see me open these sweet, sweet crates. Urban Battleground. I hope that's not the one I think it is. I hate that one. But I mean, at least it's a level 4 fractal version of it. So... It is this one. This one. This one is the most terrible fractal in the world. Because of Dolphy over here. I love the webpage Dolphy. Siege Master Dolphy is absolutely terrible. There are all of these siege weapons that are shooting at you. If you get close to Dolphy before killing the burning oil, then the burning oil like deals a lot of damage. You can see how much damage I'm taking here, even though I'm just standing around, because there are arrow cards everywhere on top of the wall that shoots down at us. It's just... terrible. Where's CMD? Just terrible times all around. Haven't done that far, so. Oh, he's maybe talking about just doing a challenge mode of this one. If Ad Infinitum requires this one specifically as challenge mode. Can you do challenge mode tier 1? I don't think you can CM T1. Getting all of these ballistas out of the way. The mode would be near start. Red mode.
Oh, you're still there. Good. I'm going to strong interference. Instability is just careful. Keep fighting.
Fire and smoke, flame and rage, take shape and burn.
They will spawn a group, like, while this ritual is going on and he makes a bigger and bigger ball of fire. Basically completing the searing. We are clearing groups of humans and they will spawn one group at each gate, so it's pretty easy to just see that. I like this though. This is a nice little detail. As the ball gets bigger, the trees begin to burn. Just showing how extremely hot it is. You can see the trees are burning away, like, to the ground. Very nice. We don't need to do the last one. They will die before they get here. It does spawn one more group of enemies. This is kind of funny. Over here at this door, there will spawn one more group of enemies. And they will try to engage us, and they will die. See? Ah, we'll help. We'll kill the Char. Ah, oh no. It's a big ball of fire, and it's killing us. Blah. There we go.
And heading right for me. Brace yourselves. Initiating emergency extraction.
So all that's left to do is to actually like get this loot out of the way. Let's show you how to convert these different things. So
Nice
each of
gear.
these fractal encryptions, what gives most of the value, they will give these research pages, which you need for that backpack thing. They will give you large defensive potions, which again, those are very nice because they get you closer to being able to buy your infinite potions because you're going to sell them. You're going to keep one of each around, but otherwise you're going to sell them so that you, as fast as possible, can get to the as fast as possible can get to the infinite potions.
Thank you.
Grab these, get these relics. These relics you can, again, over here make into infinite versions. That's what you want to do in the end. So we got a lot of fractal encryptions. You have some keys that you can use to consume these. You buy the keys from... Let me see if I can remember the NPC. I usually do it from another place than this one.
Goodbye.
But one of these golems sells keys daily. This one. This one. Every day you can buy up to 30 keys that are deeply discounted. These are nice enough that if you buy the fractal encryptions, the uncracked ones, on the trading post, and then buy deeply discounted keys and open them, you will on average come out ahead on gold. Get the deeply discounted one each day, even when you're not doing fractals. For example, you can see that I just opened 37 cracked encryptions and I can only get 30 keys. So on days where you're doing all of the fractals, you will oftentimes find yourself getting more, so to speak. You can... I'll just leave this group 2 seconds. So just keep that in mind. It's a very, very powerful way to earn the gold. And we can see how much gold that... Much of the gold from that comes from the random gray stuff that you get out of those. You can see you get all of these, like, postulates of parallels and postulates of construction and proofs of Denkin's rational cuts. And let's just see, I have 355 gold. Bam, 372 gold. That's like 18 gold-ish from that. And I used 6 gold on purchasing the things, so, you know, profit of about 10, 12 gold, something like that. And then, of course, you get all the other stuff that you also got throughout the fractals.
That looks valuable.
Which includes only 3 rare items, but the reason I only got 3 rare items is because I was a little bit lucky this time, which means I got a lot of exotics. These, this. Didn't I have a third one? Maybe I didn't. That's fine. And then, of course, you can use Ascended Salvage tools to salvage the rings. When you're lucky, you get these already infused. You can see that has 2 infusion slots used. So rings can have up to 3, and it's really expensive to upgrade them. But, you know, it gets a little bit cheaper if you're lucky and get some infused. These give you stabilizing matrices. That's also very nice. And of course, I went in there with my scavenger magic trophies, which means I got another decent chunk of money here from that. 20 means like and half that again, so like 30 silver extra for that.
Until next time.
And then we're just gonna, again, everything that can't be sent to the bank because we have a full bank, we'll just sell it on the trading post. Selling it all. And you can choose what you feel like you need to do. Whether you feel like you need to do the salvaging or the keeping of especially the ascended pieces. Ascended pieces can be nice if you want to wait to spend them until you need something for your for a new character, for example. If you can just grab them ascended gear immediately, that can be very nice. You can see I've saved up a lot of different like ascended weapons and ascended like chests and stuff so that I can quickly equip a new character. But like I can also just grab this,
That looks valuable.
Go to one of the golems. You can also, if you don't have access to Mistlock Sanctuary, you can just do it inside of the fractal gate. Let me just see which one of you again has the salvage tools. And you can see these are kind of expensive, but they are also the primary way of getting all kinds of like salvage oriented loot. These balls of dark energy, these stabilizing matrices, vision crystals, all kind of stuff that you need for ascended crafting, you need for some legendary crafting, you need for the legendary backpack collection. All good stuff to get. So, yeah. Doing that isn't too bad. Just finish up my backpacks here. And I do sometimes move like a little back and forth between I sell some things and then I go over and like buy the thing to salvage the things and then I go back to selling. Because if you sell too many things in a row, and that happens regularly, you begin getting this like you can't do that right now because you're listing too many things in a row message. You don't want that. Anyways, there we go. With that out of the way, I think that's where I'm going to end the stream for today. Thank you all very much for watching, and if you have questions about anything about strikes or meta events or things like that, I do have guides for those. My guides focus primarily on how you get the optimal amount of gold out of them, because I don't think there's too much you need to know about actually doing them, and streamers like Muglock have already done a great job of actually expanding upon the how-to mechanical parts themselves. So I found my own little niche in trying to explain how to optimize your gains from actually doing these very attractive activities. You can subscribe to the YouTube channel or, you know, follow on Twitch. The YouTube channel, I'll also get a guide out on fractals here very soon.